What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's another episode of Talk That Talk Tuesday with my guy and my co-host in the building. Also bringing up my other guy here, JT, from What We Know podcast. He's still getting that bald head shined up right now. So as soon as he came up, I bring him up as well. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Tonight is a very important conversation for mature audiences only. Listen, we're not trying to make you a believer, but this is what we believe in, and this is what we live by, and we strive to live by on the conversation that we're having tonight. And this is what we want to see from our women. So we do have an educated extraordinaire queen in the building tonight, who's definitely not playing no games, and she's gonna give it to you straight. Lost in translation. What's going on with you, my brother?
Everything's everything, man. How you doing today?
Man, you know, I'm sunshine, partly cloudy, man. I'm honeymoon happy and peacock proud to have this show tonight because we're gonna get it in, brother. How about yourself?
Yes, indeed. Can't wait. This is a conversation we really need to have, man. Really.
Who you?
And I've been waiting on this said conversation for quite some time.
Come on, Doc. Come on. It's about to go down tonight. All right. Yes. All right. So thank you so much for being here. To the people in the chat, real quick, let's go ahead and get them in the chat. You can go ahead, Lost in Translation. And let us know who in the chat. Go ahead.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say hey to Ryan S. What's happening, man? He said, hey, what's up? We also have the lovely Take Heed to the Message. You know what I'm saying? And we can't forget about Almond Eyes. How you doing, darling? You know what I'm saying? And who else is this we have in here? Are You Muse? Just Jay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And who else do we got? Let's see. We also have Sunshine. How you doing, darling? And we also have the one and only Uncle Ricky in the building.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir. And we also have Reckless Ray in the building and the infamous Trey in the building. And one other person, the one.
Come on, the one.
Only.
The only.
SB. Doggone right. Hey, SB, what's going on, darling? Good to see you.
Yes, indeed. All right, man. Well, I just want to, you know, a lot of people, my mother was not too impressed with my thumbnail. And I told her that she's going to have to deal with it because that's what it looks like in the world today. So we're going to move on. I want to start bringing people up. Who you want to bring up first, JT?
Let's bring up the reckless one, man. You know, we got to start this thing off right.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage to the one and the only Reckless Ray De Niro.
Oh, man.
What's good, family? How we doing?
That's the first guy. You picking, JT? Who you picking, man? Who you got? Who you bringing up next? Who you bringing up?
Oh, shit. Well, we gonna keep it going with the dudes then, man. Shit, let's bring up the one and only Mr. Bennett. Let's go.
Come on, bring him on up then. Bring him on up then, JT. Let's see. There he is, Mr. Bennett. What's going on, my guy?
I'm bringing up to the stage none other than the one and only.
Did you hear what I said?
Uncle Ricky in the building.
Yes.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Hey, listen, I'm not even going to play with y'all tonight because y'all can call out who you want to call out, but I know I got a teammate over here that's going to rock this show tonight. She's a queen. She has her hair wrapped. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a queen to a king, and she's a queen to her children. And give it up for one of the hottest voices on YouTube today. I got to give her flowers right now. Give it up for Take Heed, the motherfucker. Take Heed, man, to the message in the building. Let's go. Yeah, boy. Ain't nobody gonna beat that intro. Let's go.
All right, shit. What we got up in here? Oh,
come on.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. This guy right here, we always talked about regular Trey, but we ain't talking about regular Trey today, y'all. We talking about unleaded Trey. Y'all give it up for unleaded Trey.
All right. Lost in translation. Hey, you want his intro or you want to wait?
You know what? We got to do it.
Go ahead, man.
We got to do it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know him as the continent. We also know him as Mr. Chocolate. Yeah. But we also have a trailer for him, and I want you to pay close attention.
The toughest things any man has ever done is turn down a nice piece of willing, steaming ass piece of pussy.
All right.
Welcome to the stage, our pain.
Yeah, baby. All right, man. Hey, listen, man. I'm so glad that you guys are here tonight. You already know I before we start the show, I always want to make sure you guys are good. And so I want to start with Lost in Translation. My co-host here, Lost in Translation, JT. We'll let you guys go first, and then everybody else can. Then it'll be Uncle Rick, Take Heed to the Message, Reckless, Mr. Bennett, so on and so forth. All right, go ahead, Lost.
What's happening, man? I'm glad, man, that we having this conversation, man. It's about that time. It's one of those situations where people want to walk that fine line. They want to walk that line. If I want to do what I want to do, but at the same time, Lord bless me while you can. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot wait to have this conversation. JC, what you got on it, man?
Oh man, it's going to be a good conversation, man. The fam is doing really, really good, man. I'm glad to be on the panel with some astute colleagues over here. Uncle Ricky just be over here knocking motherfuckers off on every platform, including his own. You got Take Heed doing her thing over here, get all the women mad, but they're healing also. Reckless just come over here. You know what he is? He's an irritant. He is. That's my man right there. Mr. Bennett is the one that gives you the voice of reason. Trey Ferg, the OG. He already, you know what he gonna do. But the triple OG, my man, the R-Pain, Mr. You gotta get it willing, and you gotta get it steaming.
That's right. It's got to be steaming and women.
Ricky, man, what's going on with you, brother?
Oh, everything.
How's the family? How's your daughter, man? How's your family?
Family's good, man. Everything's strides every day, man. Just shout out to the fellas for building, and shout out to the sisters that take care of the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Peace to all y'all. Peace to the gods and goddesses of the earth. I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Now, I would take you to last, okay? We want you to go last, okay? Because you're last but not least at a very all, not at all. Reckless Ray, what's going on with you tonight, my brother?
Rushing. I am rushing everywhere. I'm all over the place. It's just been busy. It's been busy every day this week. Seems like it's going to be Monday, and we're just going to take it in stride.
All right. Thank you for being here, Reckless, and thank you for being here with us tonight, even though you're busy, man. Thank you for committing to be here. Mr. Bennett, how are you and the family in marriage season number 27, my brother?
Full steam ahead. No detours. Just going straight forward. Another 4 months. We'll end marriage season 27. So I guess we're in the fourth quarter and just finishing strong. So everything is going good over here. And it was leg day. So I'm not feeling great right now. I'll feel even worse tomorrow, but I'm just glad that I have the strength to persevere through it. And I'll be stronger and better for it. So, hey, it is what it is.
Good work, bro. Good work.
Good work, man.
Yes,
Trey Ferg in the building tonight, joining us tonight. Trey, how are you, man? How's your family, my brother?
Hey, brother, how y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
we
sir.
hear you good.
Well, give me a minute and a half. I need a minute and a half. First of all, I just want to say, homage to sister. I believe in her. I like her earthly essence. I like her, you know what I'm saying, her verbiage. No, I like the organic part of her. You know, my wife is all of that and 10 bags of chips in it, you know, and I see her out here living this gospel, and it's like a bee sting and go get over the pain quick. So, and she's on her shining. This is why I say when the sister shine, like, see how she shine like new money? That's all organic. It ain't nothing fake about that. It's all real. But you know, I just look at this. I appreciate the opportunity to be up here. You know, it's like, you know, if you look at the numbers, it's like the Supreme Court. Because if you look at the line, I count 6 marriages and 3 singles. So yeah, we gotta sway the vote some type of way this night. Plus, Ray, you the reckless Ray for a reason, so you're gonna have to come with you might have to make the decide and vote. But we're gonna find out what the solution. Can we find out what the solution is? 1 solution, or 2 or 3?
Absolutely.
So last thing, physically, I'm gonna use pies. I check in with physically. You know, I'm a disabled veteran, but I got all my limbs. You know, I got Pelotons and all that, but I can't move. I break down. You know, I got back surgery and stuff. Intellectually, I feel like I'm learning every day in these new spaces. I'm a Generation X, and brother, I like your video because it's showing you just growing into the man that you're supposed to do, brother. And so emotionally, I'm a little tired because I had to drive to Indianapolis and go to the doctor. But spiritually, I'm connected to this panel right here. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Thank you so much, Trey. Trey, if you want to go out and come back in because your internet's choppy real bad, like you're freezing a lot. So go in and come back out. And so we'll see if that clears it up. And while you're clearing up, we'll get to the stripper. Our pain, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for somebody to dance for your bar mitzvahs, for your wakes, for your repasses, anything like that, you call our pain, he's your main. They call him the continent because when he moves, everything shakes. Our pain. How are you tonight? How's the family, my brother?
You know, I was on the other panel the other day and I told them how much weight I lost. And they said, well, what's your goal? I said, well, you know, I just want to get down to being fat. If I can get down to just being fat, I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying?
One step at a time.
That's it, one step at a time. Hey, listen, all I want to say is, you know, I had his brother up. I think his name was Dwayne. And he tried to tell me that partner was an action verb and a wife was a noun. I said, but that's not what the Bible describes.
Come on.
Wife is absolutely a verb in the Bible.
Come on.
You know, so, and, you know, and he was a smart guy. You know, I like the way we had a nice conversation.
Allegedly.
That's number one. I'm going to end it with this. But yesterday, I went back through the video, my first 20 minutes. I'm going to send some shit into the government so I can get paid for my goddamn thesis about women being promiscuous, you know, changes the sexual marketplace energy. Because if people get money for the mating strategies of butterflies, I definitely get some money for this shit.
Absolutely.
I'm only just joking, but I think so.
Well,
some
you know,
agency out there with the Biden fools, but they're gonna fund me and shit. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, that's great," you know.
Now keep in mind,
we're going to call you the Einstein of the sexual marketplace
Hey,
value.
first of all, I thought that was pretty good. The panel was good. The panel was pretty good. I love that.
E equals 2 cheeks squared. You know what I'm saying?
And
listen, after 6 years of education and shit, I had to use it somehow. So finally, after 30-some years, I actually got the chance to use the equation.
Now, I want to say this, guys. Last but not least at all, the woman who is out here just she's the type of woman who's making women do this right now. She's really making women think right now. Take heed to the damn message is in the building. And if you're not watching, let me tell you, I always say this. Every morning this woman is working. She's doing the work. You hear me? She's a wife. She's qualified to have the conversation. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's out in these streets making, she has her own business. You need to support this woman and go on her channel to tonight, tomorrow, whenever. And the only excuse we giving, if you don't have fingers, if you don't have fingers, have your nurse do it. But we need you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on her video. She's killing it. She's killing the game every morning. Take heed to the message. Thank you for your message. Thank you for being the woman. Thank you for giving men hope that women are out there like you somewhere, because you do the work and we're so proud of you and we love you. And so take heed to the message. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. And I'm surprised that I'm on the panel with all kings tonight. This is something right here.
Mm-hmm. I
ain't got no help tonight.
on this and Trey got arrested for a DUI. So we just they were drinking and beating the shit out of each other going down the highway and the police pulled them over. But go ahead, take heed. I'm sorry.
So everybody is well. The family is all right. Just got finished braiding people hair. So that's it.
Okay, absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. Guys, as you know, we always try to start the show off with an icebreaker. Well, do I have one for you today? Before we get to the meat of the conversation. I was going to give a speech before this video, but I think this video talks for itself. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you, and we'll talk about it as soon as it's over. Here we go.
If ever we're around with something that's not...
Hold on just a second. I forgot. I have a nephew out there right now, and his mother is watching. He's running for King Court at his school, and his mama can't pay the sum of money because the mama can't do that. My sister can't just go pay the whole thing and help him win. It has to be donations. So guys, if you want to donate to my little nephew, $1, $2, $3, $4, 50 cents, whatever it is, you'll see my cash up at the bottom of the screen. Once you send the cash up to me, I'll send it to my sister. Once he raises, I think it's $100. Yeah, when he gets to $100, that's his goal. They're raising $100 per person who's running. So if you want to send $5, $2, $3, you see the cash up at the bottom of the screen. I'll make sure I get that cash app over to her. She's watching it tonight. Her and her boo thing over there watching the cuddle up, watching it. Which I don't like him too much right now. I don't like him, no man, with my sister. But I'll keep moving forward. But anyway, if y'all want to send a donation, please do so. The cash up is at the bottom. Everything that you send in tonight will be sent to him to support his King Court, so we can get him to be a winner. And I'll definitely, if he wins, I'll definitely post the pictures and the videos of him on the show next Tuesday before we start. All right, thank you guys. If you want to donate, all right, now let's go ahead and play this video. And
hey, no pressure, BMU. But if we donate, his ass better win.
You know what I'm saying?
No pressure.
Yeah, damn right. Absolutely. She's watching right now. She's in the chat. So hey, say hi to everybody, Shaterica. All right, here we go.
If I ever brought Ronald something that's not designer, he'll throw it in the trash. Ronald thinks that I'm made of a money tree that I could just shake in the yard and it comes in my hand and I just hand it to him. I work about 120 hours a week to support my household. If I tell Ronald that I'm not giving him extra money, he shuts down, gets an attitude, stomps up the steps, slams his. I give him $1,000 allowance a month, and he wants an extra $1,500 to support his luxury and designer clothes. He's not getting it.
I am going to get it.
He's not getting it.
I'm going to get it.
What?
Y'all breathe. Everybody breathe. Look at Ray. Ray is ready to explode right now. Y'all breathe. Everybody take a deep breath. Just breathe. In and out. Just breathe. Open, close. Woosah. Woosah. All right. Thank you so much. Our Payne just sent a $10 cash app for Lil Man. So thank you so much for sending it to my nephew. We got $10 so far. Thank you so much, Mr. Payne. While y'all are breathing, I'm going to play something because Ray is about to explode. And it's about to go down. So I'm gonna play a little something here. Where's my violinist? Because I think no. I think it's Ratchet Night. I think we need a Ratchet video. Here we go.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired of hell, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, bustin' down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
All right. Yeah. Take heed. Them sisters, you gotta talk to them. Take heed. Thank you so much again to JT. JT sent a $10 cash app. Thank you so much, JT, for that. So we're up to $20. Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. All right. As you guys send them in, I will call everybody's name out. And we'll play a video for you guys periodically. But the video that we just saw, I want to start with the lady of the house tonight. Take heed to the message. The lady said that she gives him $1,000 a month. She's working 120 hours a week, and she gives him an additional $1,500 a month to keep up a lavish lifestyle. And he's her son, not her husband. What are your thoughts, Take Heed? Talk to us tonight.
So, this is painful. She's going to regret this. She's going to regret this. I'm going to share with you why I say this. She said she worked 120 hours a week, right, to support this boy, right?
Yes.
And when I only had one child, this is, and sometimes some of these stories make me cry because it be a part of my history and my past. So my son, who is 29 years old, I used to work like this too, like 120 hours a week. He didn't have an allowance like what she talking about, but he wore nothing but Jordans and Timbs. And his clothing was always name brand. And he had like I furnished his room. He had Nintendo, Sega Genesis, everything a child would want. This boy had over like 22 pair of shoes in his closet. And I'm gonna share with you why I did all those things. Why would y'all think I did all those things? I was trying to make him forget about his father. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why you do those things, because you're trying to compensate for you not having the father around. And this is what this mother is doing. And then when she can't do it anymore, she's not able to, or something happens, that boy gonna turn on her and he gonna be ready to whoop her like she the child. And I'm only speaking from experience because I did this. I spoiled my eldest son. I made that boy so rotten when it was time for him to go to summer. You know how you go for summer jobs and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day he told me, "Mama, you make enough that I ain't gotta work a summer job." And I cried so bad. I was like, wow, because I grew up hard. So I cried. I was like, I was working since I was 14. You know, in my mind, I'm saying that. He was like, yeah, but you make enough, Mama, that I don't have to do like my friends do. So he wouldn't work. He would not work. And I couldn't like push him to, you know. And when he got old enough, 17, he said he was ready to take a shot at the title. And I didn't have his father in his life. So when he was ready, he was like, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do to Mama, and she ain't going to do nothing. But, you know, Mama crazy. You know, Mama ain't right. Mama ain't right. Okay. So when I looked at him and I told him, I said, this not what you want. This not what you want. It's not going to go the way you think it is. And it did not go well, y'all. It didn't go well. Because when you trying to substitute for the father, it never works. It never works. This is what I try to preach on my channel. Stop trying to give this child everything, because when they get a certain age and they too big and you call yourself trying to spank somebody, it will not go well, because they're growing into manhood. And especially if you didn't teach them properly and they wasn't groomed under a king, they're going to have tendencies like you, Mama. So this boy, she kind of set this boy up for failure, because when he become grown, and if he do decide to marry, there will be 2 women inside the house. Okay? And there will be no logic inside the house. And only why I speak this way is because I've been through this myself and I understand. And from me not making the right choices with my son, he had to learn. Now he did connect with his father and he learned how to do everything accordingly. But my stubbornness and me not wanting to try to fix what I messed up. This is, you know what I'm saying? It was the backlash, because children need their father. No matter what their father do, no matter how you feel about their daddy, they need their father. And we got to stop that, because I'm going to share something with you. When he was out there slinging pharmacy products, you was rocking with him, right? You was doing all this nonsense with him then. But then now you had the baby. Now he's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? He can't be the enemy, baby, if he wasn't the enemy before. So he should have the right to see the child, regardless of what he do. He's not gonna put the child in danger, but you need to make sure they have a relationship. So the mother just setting herself up for failure. This boy will not be there for her when she get old and when she need a glass of water, because you could tell now how he don't give a damn now. So that's just my take on it.
My God. Well, I want to get Trey Ferg, man. We'll go to you. because I know.
Before you do that, let me ask the sister one question. I obviously you must have did one of these videos already with this on your channel. Did you put something like this out already?
No. No, not this one right here.
Oh,
yeah, not this one. But I had talked about my situation before. With
okay, I was just curious. You know, it's a powerful. It's a keep.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Trey Ferg, what are your thoughts?
Is my audio better?
Yeah, you good. Your video better. Everything's good, man.
So appreciate you. You know, based off this video, this is a monster that's been sort of created for the last 20-some years, 30 years since that era. You know, Sister He just gave a little mention of it. She know when them rocks hit them streets, these are the babies, and these are how her mothers function. They function out of order completely. This is she's not teaching him any domestic skills, nothing, how to save his money, manage it, switch it up, you know, pay different things. She's just buying in material junk. And if he don't connect with his aunt, he look like he's about 16, 17, so he gonna probably be set in his ways for a long time. And this boy, I don't know, he could resort to stealing, whatever, if he don't get that other side of, you know, manhood, because he's not going to work. He's going to expect women to do it. And it looked like he had a little emotional problem. And it looked like he was that confident. So he could resort to carrying a gun, you know, because dudes are challenging him anyway as he get older. And especially if they know his mama take care of him and give him $1,200, $1,300 a month, she going to burn herself out. She going to die sad because all her resources, ain't no college money, ain't no nothing, no trade, ain't no trade school. It's a lot. Bills ain't getting paid. Come on now, $1,300. Even if it's $1,000, that's all of us together wouldn't even give our kids allowance to add up to $1,000.
Hell no.
And she's giving it to him like her. So this is a whole mess. But it's not. It's thousands of young ladies living this type of life because you can see it in the boys' behavior. They just like a woman, they'll dress a child to believe in the vanity of life instead of the human part of life and just doing the right thing and building. I mean, it's getting chaotic, man. I'm glad y'all speak about this because I don't know, man. It's hard to come up with an answer for it because it's just like, really, what do you do? But you still fight for it, man. Because this little boy right here, he's in trouble, and it's gonna be hard for her and him. He needs his father. He needs 25 men around him for the next 6 years. So other than that, there's a lot of our young men. Hopefully we can get them past it.
Absolutely. For the people in the back that just got here, thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe to everyone here that's on this channel. Everyone here has a channel, and Trey is here with us. He's family. Mr. Bennett as well. And Trey, man, thank you guys for being here. I do want to say tonight, any cash app that's received tonight will be given to my little nephew to help him with King Court. I just got another cash app from, let's see here, Lost in Translation. Thank you so much for the $5 cash app. I appreciate that, brother. That's going out to my little nephew there. He has a fundraiser. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, Lost in Translation. Before the people that just got here, I want to show this video again because it's important that everybody see it. And then we'll go right to Reckless Ray, and then we'll go to Mr. Bennett. Here we go.
If I ever brought Ronald something that's not designer, he'll throw it in the trash. Ronald thinks that I'm made of a money tree that I could just shake in the yard and it comes in my hand and I just hand it to him. I work about 120 hours a week to support my household. If I tell Ronald that I'm not giving him extra money, he shuts down, gets an attitude, stomps up the steps, slams his. I give him $1,000 allowance a month and he wants an extra $1,500 to support his luxury and designer clothes. He's not getting it.
I am going to get it.
He's not getting it.
I'm going to get it.
Cool. Reckless Ray. And then Mr. Bennett, you go right after Reckless, and then JT, R. Payne, Lost in Translation. We'll go like that. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, there's a bunch of content creators out there that say the black woman is God. I think we're gonna have to start calling them the devil. This chick's created a whole spoiled ass sissy What are we talking about? That dude looked like he don't know what team he's pitching for, whether he's catching or receiving. Couldn't find his way out of a wet paper sack. Bad posture. Weak jawline. Lotion on his lips. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. This dude looked like he about to audition for 2 Dudes, 4 Cups. Like, I don't know what to say about this besides this is what I'm getting at. I'm like, bro, leave women in charge. What do you get? What do you get? Bunch of women with dicks. Like, it's just wonderful, right? Like, this is the world that they want to create, because actually they don't even want to create it. They're creating the nightmares that they're running into and complaining about. They're creating weak men. They're creating soft men. They're creating men that aren't going to be capable. That boy is damn near ruined, because he's already at an age where, like, he's been doing this for a long time. Like, when the world get to him, good God.
Yeah, because he's definitely aisle 5 at Walmart. And if anybody don't know, on an average store in Walmart across the world, aisle 5 is where JT. What's on aisle 5, JT?
No, you already know it's the sugar. It's
the sugar products. Mr. Bennett, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot has already been shared. Again, it's certainly the result of not him having a father. There's no men to be found within a several generation radius. Because if you were the mother's father, her brother, the uncles, whatever, there's no male presence to be found. And if you were a male in that, if you even tried to interject and say, what are you doing? She's probably going to push it back against you and says, well, you can't tell me how to raise my son. So it's generational. There's she probably grew up a single mom. Her mother was probably a single. There was no father there. That's just a pattern. There's there is no male influence whatsoever. And as it was said earlier by Trey, again, your show on last Friday was should we be creating monsters? Well, that's how you create one. And it's going to be unfortunate for this kid in terms of what that outcome is, and just the influences. That's I don't know who's influencing him, and obviously we've seen cases where even when you are raised with 2 parents, I know early in the year we were talking about John Morant in that situation. Apparently he had his father in his life, but his father stopped being a dad and became his best friend or whatever.
Right.
So again, you have to be you have to know when to still be a father at any point in a person's life, where they may still need that that correction, or at least that counsel to talk to. But it's not just that the father is missing. There's no males to be found in her circle that can come in and address that situation. So yeah, that's how you create a monster.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, JT. And guys, let's get through this. So let's give everybody else, I know you guys going to bang it out. Let's give everybody else 1 minute per person, and then we'll go so we can get into the meat of the show tonight. So go ahead, JT. Then we go to R Payne, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen this so much. I think this is one of the biggest problems that is with the women in the West trend right now, is that they take their kids and they try to make their children. I don't think they do it intentionally, but they try to make their children happy, right? They're more involved in their happiness instead of making the children to be sufficient, self-sufficient. The young men to be strong, the women to be smart and sharp. These things make children, in my opinion, lazy. There's nothing for them to actually work towards, things like that. And I can see that in my own circle, where we have family members that would do this with their children. And what they don't understand is that it's actually toxic. And you start seeing it, especially once they start turning 16, 18, 19, 20 years old. By the time they're 25, if they haven't grown out of that, if the parent didn't correct that child is going to go through life blaming everybody because of their failures. I've seen it too many doggone times. And, you know, one of the things that we have to do as men and continue to do, because I know uncles, I know fathers, I know stepfathers that have stepped in, because I've seen both sides of the coin. And they, you know, they led that woman, the ones that actually was up under a man's tutelage, and they led that woman to, you know, not to be doing that anymore with their child. You know, some men, it takes a minute for them to get that together. But once they put their foot down and they start, you know, actually saying, no, this is never going to happen again, because they can see it. Because that young man right there, he's going to be absolutely dangerous, a danger to himself. He's going to be a danger to himself. So I'm gonna end it with that, y'all.
And possibly to others, because that's also how you create a narcissist, if not a sociopath. That's how you create one. So he could also endanger other people. He has no respect for authority or law or anything else.
All right. Let's get Ray. Ray, what are your thoughts? I mean, not Ray. Rick, what are your thoughts?
Ricky.
Oh, I'm sorry, Arpain. I'm sorry, Arpain. Go ahead, my brother.
I got to fight. I got to fight for my goddamn time on here, man. Anyway, no, real quick. I'm gonna be real quick. It's obvious that she alienated that kid's father real young. There's no doubt about it. Not only did she ruin him, she acts like she has no frame of reference on how she should be mothering a male child or any child. Because I'm not clear whether she gives him $1,000 a month or $2,500 a month based on the way that shit sounds. Like he gets $1,000 and then an additional $1,500. Is that $2,500 a month? Yep. You know, I'm not really clear. Yep. But it's clear that she alienated the father and she's working herself to the bone, thinking that at some point she's going to be rewarded by this son husband later on. And that shit ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it's a sad situation, but it's indicative of the situation where we think that alienated fathers are not a statistically significant situation in our community, whereas as opposed to the deadbeat dads. I think most men are deadbeat because the women make them that way.
Mm-hmm.
And they just use that as an excuse to brand them as deadbeats. They don't even let them into their kids' lives. So it's just where it's at. So we'll talk about it some more. I'll end it there.
All right. The loss will be last because I know he's gonna drop a bomb.
Yeah, we got Ricky.
I know, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let Ricky go ahead, Ricky, and I hold on to your seatbelts, guys, because Ricky's about to take us there. Ricky.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. This is simple. Men are built, women are made.
Yep.
So you making up this young boy to be a man? He's not going to be that. He's going to have roommates, 3 girlfriends for roommates. That's what it is. But this is what happens, right? When you as a mother, you have your kid to you at the hip at all times, even when they shouldn't, right? When you dressing them up like you, right? And set it a standard from them from the time they pop out of you to the time they get out your house. Like I said, y'all build the men y'all hate, whether y'all want to admit it or not. Y'all build the men y'all hate, right? And I agree with my boy Ray. He was flaming Dixies. You know what I'm saying? Flaming 60.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah. So don't sit up here keep having this argument against these type of lifestyles, right? When they're your best friends. Y'all encourage it, right? By again, not doing the one thing y'all supposed to do. Well, the second thing y'all supposed to do, right, is ensure a family for y'all children. Because it's never y'all fault. That's all I got.
Woo, appreciate that. Hey, listen, guys, before we move to Trey and then Lost in Translation, last but not least at all, we're up to, we got another super chat from, I think, Ray. Was it you, Ray? Reckless?
Huh?
Would you send me a cash app?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Because I saw the name down here. It says, it says Sweet Dick Willie. So I didn't want to say your nickname on it. Your cash app name on it. It just didn't make sense. But guys, thank you, Reckless. Thank you so much for the cash app, man. He gave 25, so we're at 50. We're halfway to 100. So guys, thank you so much for supporting my my little nephew, and he's on his way. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you, everybody that's given so far. Now I want to get to Trey. Trey, what are your thoughts on this young man who you may I know. First of all, how's Anissa? I guess I'm sorry, but yeah, what are your thoughts about the young man who is getting a $2,500 allowance to have fun?
Well, she probably was giving his daddy a $2,500 allowance too. I mean, why would she not create the same man that she fell in love with and create the baby with? He's missing, so she just recreated what was already there. Hey, it is what it is. This is why I say when we talk about this whole revolution and all this stuff. These the men you going to war with, the ones that's getting $2,500 from their mama. That's who we taking into battle with us. Okay, let's see how that work out. No. She's doing exactly what she knows how to do when it comes to men, and she's giving money. So that's what she's doing. I'm not surprised. And at 19, it's funny because his 19 is vastly, starkly different from my 19. He's getting $2,500 from his mama. I was having a conversation with my mama about the man that she decided to marry and how trash he was. And on my way out into the Air Force, on my way to Iraq. Completely different worlds.
Yep.
Right? So this is the point that women can't raise men. I think this is obvious. I think this is a prime example of it. And I think that this is like a really bad infection and fungus. The longer you allow it to linger, the worse it's going to get. And I don't believe that no man has ever stepped in and told her that she's doing this wrong. I think it was Mr. Ben said that she's ignoring them, or she's just telling them, don't tell me what to do. I can do this on my own. But I have a hard time believing that no man has came in and said, this isn't the right way. Don't do it this way. Don't give him money.
It's got to be. I'm saying it's either or. I'm saying even if the men were there, she's not going to listen to him.
She's not listening to him because she thinks she knows better. And let's just do the math. There's only 168 hours in a week. If she works 124 of them, that means she only sleeps 6 hours a day. That's just simple math. So she's sleeping 6 hours a day and working to provide this fool, this clown with a lifestyle that he does not deserve. And what she's done is she's took away a fundamental teaching lesson for most men, is that you get what you earn. We get what we earn, what we work for. He has completely missed that fundamental lesson, and he is years behind men his age, years behind them, because they learned that at 9, at 10 years old. I was doing my own laundry at 8. Okay. At 8 is when I was doing my own laundry.
Come on.
Okay. So he's almost a decade behind most men that are 19 years old, and he's going to suffer for it when he turns 35 because he won't be where they're at. Because
he may never recover, Trey. He may never recover. He may never recover. Never.
And you know what? If a man comes into this woman's life, if I were the man, if I was a single man, and I started talking to this woman, which would probably be few and far between, hell no. But if I were to do that, the first thing I would do when he came for that allowance is beat him up. Because I think that's what he needs. I think that he needs to get beat up. I think I'm going to go in the room. I'm going to say, you're not getting no more money. And he's going to say, oh, yes, I am. You heard him. Yep. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I beat him up. And because he's 19, that's a grown man. I beat his ass.
Right. He going to call the police on you for assault.
No, BMU. But hypothetically, what if you start hitting him and he's trying to kiss you in between the punches?
This is the conundrum that people are in, right? This is the conundrum, and I don't see. Me myself personally, I don't understand why people can't see it as wide as I do, right?
Right.
See, they try to use the excuse that when they were young, like what Trey say, we threw everything in a shopping cart, and I was 7, 6, taking clothes to the laundromat.
Come on,
hustling high C bottles,
big old bag over our back,
right? Bagging groceries at 13 for $3 an hour for
snow.
9 hours, right? And what people did, and this is the crazy thing, right? The very things that you did that you say you hate about that your parents because they didn't have money, those are the very things that gave you the skills to be able to offer your child these things. It's the very skills, the things you hate are the very skills that allow you to say my kid. But the reason why your parents did that, because they don't want your kid, they didn't want you coming out like your kid's gonna come out. You keep what you kill. And our people can't seem to understand that. You don't kid glove children, you raise them.
But I think also, well, actually, did everyone get a chance to go? I think
No,
White
Lost in
School
Translation. We got White School and Lost in Translation. So
Okay.
Lost in Translation.
How old is the video? Is the question I wanted to discuss. How old is the video?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay.
I know
I think it was
you
from a
beat up.
Dr. Phil show or something like that. So it's
Yeah,
probably
it's
2 years
Dr.
ago.
Phil. Yeah.
Yeah. Or where are they now? Interesting follow up.
He's an adult now. Ooh.
Oh wait, no. He's probably walking. He's probably got a sundress on right now. But go ahead, Lost. I'm sorry.
You know what? Before I get started, I'm gonna recognize Wife School Podcast for coming on before I get going, because you know a gentleman always recognize a lady when they first come to the stage. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that out the way. That's right. First of all, there is a fundamental difference between how men see the world and how women see the world. And in this particular situation, it is on display on how she has trained this young man to see the world through her eyes. Most women are trained to receive things from men, and it is this pathology that she has passed on to her son. Because every time he looked up, he was like, I need this and I will have that, the mannerisms. You know, he's taking on the feminine role instead of a man. Let me tell y'all something. A long time ago, a friend of mine was my mentor, a gentleman by the name of Dave Hamby. He's a millionaire. I was talking to him about raising kids, and Dave told me, he said, the most important thing that you can teach your child is teaching them to deny themselves. And it really didn't click on me until I thought about my childhood. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I had this thing that I wanted when I was a kid. It was called Optimus Prime. Baby, let me tell y'all something. I wanted to be the leader of the Autobots. You hear me? You know, I was like, man, I got to have Optimus Prime. You know what I'm saying? He's the baddest leader of them all. I said, that's who I want to be. So Christmas after Christmas came, I never got Optimus Prime. So what happened was I said, you know what? I'm going to get me a job and I'm going to save up me some money and I'm going to buy my own dadgum Optimus Prime. You know what I'm saying? I will tell y'all this, to this day, I have had many of dollars in my hand, but you know, I have never bought myself an Optimus Prime. And I'm going to tell you why. It's going to take away from my hustle and my drive to do the things that I need to do. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm long and gone, they're going to put me in the casket, and my casket is going to be red and blue with silver trim on it. You know what I'm saying? Because the mission will be done at hand. You know what I'm saying? 1 Corinthians 13:11 says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Come on.
I understood as a child. I thought I was a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Come on.
So my thing is this, as a man, these are the lessons that you teach your sons. You see what I'm saying? You put away childish things and you become a man. And then you go out and you provide for your family. Those are the things that we have to do as men, is to teach our young men that you have to make sure that you get out there and you get it. And the world is not going to give you anything. So you go out and you make the world a better place. And while you're doing it, you become a better person. So in this particular situation, this young man was being robbed out of his manhood because she gave him something that he wanted instead of finding out exactly what he desired, and caused him to find out and drive for himself. So we're going to find out in the future how this turns out. But this is just a microcosm of what we see today and what women complain about men always saying, hey, can you give me this and give me that? But my thing is this is also a lesson for the women that says, hey, look, you might want to take your rightful place and you won't have to deal with this, because it's your job to assist. And once you get back into the same frequency of assisting your husband, then your children won't be out of whack. And that's all
Hey,
I'm saying.
hey, Loss, before you go on, though, what made you think the way you think? And the reason why I'm asking that is because I don't know what saved me, but it was myself. Nobody in my sphere told me I needed to get around men, that I needed to leave my house and find my way. What was it? Do you know what it was?
I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was actually my father, man. And it was his father and my mother's father. You see what I'm saying? And my great-grandfathers, because they were the example, they were the standard. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't always one of those deep conversations that we had outside. Most of the time it was by me watching them. You see what I'm saying? As I got older, I knew that men were the key. Men were the mentors. You know what I'm saying? I was taught to seek out somebody who was wiser than me. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I was also taught to teach those who wanted to learn something from me. So I always say that I have this basic philosophy in life. It's called learn, do, and teach. And we all have different phases. And depending upon where you are at, you learn as much as you can. You do as much as you can so you become a subject matter expert. And then you go out and you teach. That's how you know you got it. So that's where I learned that philosophy from.
Well, you know what? I shouldn't have said there was nothing, loss. And I'll be real quick. There was two things for me. One was going to the hospital to see my grandfather, who still was the patriarch of my house.
Right.
Tied down to his hospital bed a couple of days before he passed away. And him asking me, tell the nurses to let him loose. And all I thought about was was that this guy from the early 1900s created a family where he was self-sufficient, had all these people under him, because I keep the family tree. The second thing, and I can't really hit it, was I went to all boys high school. I told you about that white school podcast at one point. The dean of discipline told me, he asked me what I wanted to be. I said I wanted to be an engineer. And he told me, man, forget about that, man. Just get a profession and work, because you don't got what it takes. Those two things, not congruently, but in my head, I said, you know what? I'm in this shit on my own, and I really wanted to shove my degree down his throat when I got it, but he had passed away. But my grandfather being tied down gave me a lesson. I said, man, you know what? I gotta make my own way, because I had a lot of women. I loved them, but I couldn't talk to them about the shit that I needed to talk about. So, that's why I had to seek some of that stuff for myself. And I don't reject them. My aunt was my guardian. I love her dearly. So anyway, so I'll just land it there. So I was trying to find out how men find their way. But for me, I joined a fraternity. I went around a whole bunch of men. I learned how to deal with women. I learned how to deal with heartbreak. I learned how to deal with money and all that shit from all those big brothers that I had,
Right.
But that's just me. I'll just land
But
it.
sometimes, just to follow up our pain, sometimes it's just in you, bro. I mean, you can have kids grow up in the same house. I keep remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary, him and his brother. I mean, this life they came from. Arnold just thought differently. Like what took his brother out would have took out a lot of people, but he was just like, look, I just don't want this. So sometimes it's just looking at your surroundings like, I don't want this. Not everybody has that. So sometimes, give yourself some credit for being able to, despite everything going on around you, you were able to see something and you had a different decision when people were trying to put other thoughts into your head, even your teachers. You made a decision that you wanted something different for yourself. Not everybody has that. So give yourself some credit for that.
Absolutely. I gave myself one more thing and I'll shut up.
God
For
damn.
all the women I had some encounters with, I think one of the things I did, I learned something from each one of them. That put me in the position where I'm at now. It wasn't just smash and grab, because and I'm not going to go into it, but most of the women I dealt with taught me a lesson. One kind of lesson, and I always keep with me, you know what I'm saying? So when I was ready to find my wife, I think that helped me. But anyway, let me shut up and let me move on. That's a whole nother topic. That's another boomer topic.
He said you started stripping at the all boys school. Never mind.
Yeah, well, you know, but my clientele was female.
Whoa, false.
My clientele
Okay,
was female. That's all I
before
can say.
white school
Let me expand it there.
Oh,
Let me
Lord.
clear that up. Hey, everybody, if my clientele was women.
Hey, he also said he took something from every woman that probably helped with the stripping too. He probably got a move or two from every woman he dated.
Listen, man, some of those phones there weren't there when I was younger.
Now before wife school goes, before wife school podcast, before the wife school podcast goes, I would like to. I have a clip here from heaven. God sent me this clip. He told Moses to send it to me. He emailed it to me. And he said, this is what this young man who is in this video should, this is what should happen to him.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama. I stayed off your ass out of respect for that woman. But if it wasn't for your mama, I would have broke your little ass down a long time ago.
That's right, man.
That's what should happen to that young man. Wife School Podcast. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. You look lovely tonight. I see you got your glasses on, looking like a professor from Florida State. Go ahead and talk to us tonight. What are your thoughts on this little spa ruined, little ugly little bastard? Go ahead.
Oh, that's nice.
Reviews.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you, baby. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I have sons, right? And their dad isn't around like I would like him to be. I ain't gonna comment on that. I'll be nice. I'll be a lady about it. But it's not to the level where I would like his influence to be at, right? So upon me, I have to kind of kill my emotions, or like this mom does, like, you know, she's overexerting herself. I have to kind of reframe from overexerting myself to overcompensate for, you know, the dad not being there and, you know, that masculine energy that a boy needs. It takes a lot of effort to really continuously kick boys off the titty, because they will try to come back and mom, and you want to coddle them. You have to kick them off the titty. That's just is what it is, you know, and that's when you work with the father to help raise with the boy, you know. And so in my case, it's like, okay, well, what can I do to give him the best advantage that I can, is to teach them what I didn't know back in the day. Like you guys said, what we didn't know, what we went through to make us what we were, to make them. So back then, you know, my parents had us at the thrift store. So, you know, we didn't get those expensive things. So I appreciate anything that I do work for that I want. Now, and I follow Ray. I follow good people. I'm surrounded by good people right here on this panel that I learn from, especially the men, like financial. So all these things I take and I try to pour back into my son and get him thinking about these things, because, you know, boys, they're curious, they're into everything. And I want to keep their mind busy on things that will build them, that will be productive, and not so much like talking about being in a feminine role, expecting me to always do for them. I push my son. Before I came out to work tonight, he was like, Mom, look at my stocks. They're doing really good. And he's 10. So just exposing him and getting him thinking about things that he can generate on his own will automatically put him in the mind of being a producer and a provider and those things, you know, on his own accord. And I can reward that and say, well, here's some more money so that you can invest more in that instead of clothes and, you know, the superficial stuff that that have no value, that will not add to his wealth, that won't give him a good chance with a decent lady that he can provide for, you know what I'm saying? So, and also to get him around men. Like there's just things that a woman cannot provide in essence to a man. We can carry you for 9 months. We can feed you. And that's about it. You know, discipline you a little bit. But it comes a point where a man has to step in. And as you guys said, it's in you. I have to recognize that in you. And I have to let you go into the pack and the wolf pack with the men. You got to go out, hunt, fish. You got to go out and do those things. Get dirty, get cut up, get bruised, get rejected by the world, get told no, in all those things. And so that's what I try to do as best as I can. And it's my job, as Trey said, or as many of you guys said, as Rick said, it's my job to, okay, now move forward, get a man, or the best man, not just any man, right? Get the best man so that he can still see that dynamic between a man and a woman and replicate that, because most of the time we learn by what we see and we duplicate it. So that's just my mission, and with a sprinkle of Jesus, a lot of Jesus, I'm making it. So I'm really proud, but I will say it's a hard thing. And women, we kind of make it hard on ourselves because we try to do everything and be independent and be strong, but we are not.
All right, man. Thank you
That's
so
cool.
much.
If I can ask just a follow, and again, you don't have to answer anything you don't want to, but I'm only bringing it up because it was raised by someone else earlier. We talked about how important it is for, especially if you're not with the father, to have the best relationship with the father. And there's been a narrative that's already been spun that, oh, well, women are driving men away. And I don't want to attach that to you, that yet you're doing that. You know, you speak for yourself in that regard. But you talk about some of the things that you need to do. I mean, is that still a possibility? Not that you reconcile with your ex, but, you know, to build that relationship, to make him more involved, because if for any reason he may feel some kind of way because you two didn't work, how would you, or have you gone about trying to get that relationship such where at least you can be co-parents? If you can't be husband and wife or friends or whatever, can you at least be co-parents? But I just didn't want that point to go, because
I
that
know you said
narrative's
it
already
earlier.
been sent to me. What's that? I didn't say that.
Oh,
Someone
someone
else said it earlier. So, but
I
just in light of your
I know
situation, you can
it
speak to that more
seems
than
like
anybody here.
that. It does seem like that. And I know people, because it happens so much, they would not believe my story. They probably would not even believe me. I have an open door. This man has 50-50. As bad as it is, I don't have him on child support so that he can be there, or may not feel some type of way, or, oh, she's just trying to give me some money. I try to set it up in a way so that he doesn't feel that he can't have access to him. He has complete access to him. He has a full phone line. He can get to his children. I've been in this situation this has been my life for the past 6 or 7 years. And as many times as I cried, as many times as I tried to speak cordial, just as in this tone, sometimes you just can't make a person do what's not in them. Like Arpane said, like you said, it's just not there. And I can look back, which I can say, you have to vet properly. His parents weren't in his life. He runs. I encourage him, like, okay, he'll say, I want to see the kids this week. I said, no problem. But you know what? I never tell my kids he wants to come see you, because more than often than not, 9 out of 10, he doesn't show up. And so I don't want to continuously keep putting that in their head of heartbreak. So when it does happen, I tell my son, I said, well, this is what's going to happen in life. You know, sometimes you have to just lower your expectations a little bit. I say, you still respect your father, but sometimes he may be busy. I don't know. But
so, White School, before you go any further into the details, because I hear you, and we do. Remember when we talked before, I think a good substitution for me is sending those kids to boys' school. It costs a little bit of money if you can get that out.
I'm trying to work on
because let me tell you what it does. It puts them around men. It does. And for me, it puts them around men. It takes away in high school or some of the earlier years, it takes them away from the the thing about I forgot the good word about how women can influence them, and it puts them around more male teachers. Yeah. Because in a lot of our schools, they try to make the boys act like girls in the classroom. Mm-hmm. They don't have a chance to exercise their masculinity. So when you put them in a boys' school, that's not an issue, because the people who work there, a lot of times understand now, it costs you money. if it's a
Yeah, I
parochial
mean,
school
I
and
mean,
all that kind of
I
stuff.
agree. I mean, like that's where
That's
you
just a
put the money
suggestion.
going to
That's
the
just a
education.
suggestion.
We still got to invest in our children. So
Yeah,
I
so I
totally
just throw
agree
that
with our
out there because that happened for me, you know. And I thought that was a beneficial thing, even though I wanted to be around the girls and all the co-ed schools. But it didn't seem to stunt my life too much being around all those kind of dudes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a thought process because now, just being around a lot of men and see how the boys move, see how the teachers move, see how the administration move, it rubs off a little bit. So I just throw that out there. I'll shut up on that one.
Thank
Can
you
I
for
say
paying.
something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead,
Can
take heat.
I say something real quick?
And after take heat, we'll get into the second part of the show. Go ahead, take heat.
Wife School Podcast, baby. I love your content first. I want to say that. I love your
you.
content.
Love your
You
content.
always just on point. You feel me? Our pain, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Only why I'm gonna disagree with you is because all boys school is not like how it was back in the day. You have all these children coming from different homes, and you don't know what they're going to bring to this school, and you don't know if they're going to be doing some nonsense to any boys that go to that school. So I don't agree with that. But what I will say, Wife School Podcast, you may not agree with me on this one, but I will pack their stuff up and send them to their father. That's what I would do. Only why I'm telling you this, baby, is because I got a 29-year-old, and I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. When I think about it now, and I'm gonna share something with you. In our house, there's 3 girls, 1 boy, right? My husband said to me, "You deal with them girls. I got that boy. Don't say nothing to him. Anything happen, you come to me."
get me.
Because last
Yeah.
week, and this is a prime example. Last week, he said he wanted me to do something, so I was ready to do it. And my husband was like, "No, step back, go out the kitchen." And then they started talking, and my husband was like, "No, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it." You know what I'm saying? And I think as the wife, we have to learn that the husband has to take control of these boys. We have to understand it because we want to baby them. They are sons. We love them so much. We don't want nothing bad to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? And so we hold them tight and don't let them go of that breast. We put that breast in their mouth and won't let them go. And the father is like, "No, snatch the breast out the mouth." No. So I'm gonna share something with you, and this may bother you a little bit, baby. But I would pack their stuff and send them with the father. I would say, "Listen, it's your turn. It's your turn, huh?" And take them just like that. That's what I would do. Because I'm gonna share with you why I say this. Because when they get big, baby, they get big, and you the only one in the house. Those lions, those little cubs, they turn into lions. And if you not a lion yourself, they gonna eat you alive, baby. That's why I'm telling you. I'm not saying your kids will do that. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying your kids will do that, but I'm just telling you from my experience, baby. Send them to their father. Pack their stuff.
You know what? If he had a more stable place, like I don't like burdening people's private stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Although I would say, hang on, I see
that's
that's your mother
though,
energy again. We just talked about that. To a lot of the guys on this
I
panel.
told you what you need to know. Like I said, you are putting a general story on me. You don't know my story.
Do you trust them? Did you trust your kid?
Can we move on, please? Can we move on, please? You said we're moving on after take
children?
heed. Can we move on, please?
Do you trust him with the safety of your children?
Yes, but with the where he's at, I don't.
She knows best. So
So
let's move on.
So what I'm going to do is next, let's get into the meat of the conversation, guys. The title of the show tonight is "The Bible and the Black Woman." Where's the disconnect? I feel that there is a disconnect from what we believe in, and how women are walking and talking. I'm a firm believer that how can you, as a woman, stand in from a crowd of people, knowing that you say you've been called by God, but the Word of God is telling you not to even stand there. So what I want to do is I want to start with something something, a video here. I want to start with Easter. I want to start with Genesis, and then I want to bring the fire of Revelation on the second video because I ain't gonna play him first because he's just out of there. But I'm gonna play this one first, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Women who pastor, women who preach in a church are a disgrace, and they openly reflect opposition to the clear command of the Word of God. As in all the churches of the saints, the women are to keep silent in the churches. They're not permitted to speak. It's disgraceful for a woman to speak. It might be shocking to you to know this, but in a survey conducted in 2017, about 80% of Americans are comfortable with a female pastor. 62% of practicing Christians are open to women pastors. 27% of pastors across this country are women. This is an explosion. In 1960, 2% of clergy were women. The women's movement has basically just erupted in the church, and the last frontier for the movement is the evangelical church. Last frontier to fall victim to the rebellion of feminism along with cultural Marxism. Perhaps women pastors and women preachers are the most obvious evidence of churches rebelling against the Bible.
Wow.
All right, now that's the first video. Okay, he spoke. Now I'm
Hey,
gonna
before
bring
you
in
go
the
on
guy.
BMU, did anybody? It skipped. I missed a lot. A lot of it skipped over.
Anybody skipped on anybody? No.
Oh, everybody else heard it. Maybe it's just
That's
myself.
that's that Cricket Wireless, man. God.
Yeah, that's well, you know, I have
Guys.
to get that together.
Yeah, Cricket Wireless. Okay. Now I'm just playing with y'all playing. So I want to play the second video. Here's another perspective.
Question your bishop when he put that woman in the pulpit, knock on his office door. When that woman is up teaching what is supposed to be Bible class. Yeah. And yet you men sitting out there, women up teaching Sunday school, and the Bible says I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to use of authority over the man, but to be in silence with all subjection, and you go men let a woman teach you?
Yeah.
You're sinners.
I suffer not a woman to teach.
Give chapter and verse.
1 Timothy chapter 2, and we're at verse 12.
All right, Ricky, we'll let you start on this one first. What are your thoughts about the leadership? What the Bible says about leadership, and what we're seeing today in the culture based on the videos you just saw. You can start the videos first and move on. Go ahead.
I mean, it's simple to me. The first person to make a bad decision was a woman, right?
Ooh. Ooh.
So the one who, hey, Adam, I keep telling y'all, accountability and responsibility are two different things. The man gonna pay for it, but whose fault was it for real though? So y'all telling me the very thing that influenced the man to put us in this situation, if this is what you believe, if this is what you believe, so the very thing that put us in this situation of hell on earth can now teach the word of God, the person that they went against when they had instructions?
Did you hear what I said?
This is why I don't believe in the church, especially the black church. I don't. God does not dwell in the houses made by men anyway. Y'all keep listening to these people. The road of damnation is filled with the wicked. It didn't say it was sparse. It didn't say, oh, it'd just be a couple of them. Take y'all pick, man. Y'all crazy, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, my personal opinion, Satan was a woman. Who else can influence a woman more than another woman? Girlfriend, tell your girl everything. She listen to everything. You, her man, provide everything she asks for. And her girlfriend be like, girl, let's go out. Y'all win a fight. Argue with your baby daddy.
Yeah. Ricky, I want to add something to what Ricky's saying because I don't want people to hear Ricky and say, oh, he's just talking. Because if we go on here tonight, first, if you go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, we're starting at 11. It says a woman should learn to be quiet. In full submission, I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. Here's the part that gets to what Ricky is saying. It says, for Adam was formed first, then Eve. And Adam was not the one who was deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became the sinner first. But women will be saved through childbearing. It goes into suffering, childbearing, pains through childbirth, things of that nature. So the Bible backs up what Ricky is saying right now. But Ricky, were you done? Because you could go ahead. Just add to what you were saying, my brother. Let's hop over to Trey, because Trey was agreeing with Ricky. Ricky, Trey, what are your thoughts on what you've heard?
It's it's a thing. I tell Uncle all the time, you got to stop doing that, man. You keep doing this thing where you making sense and you're logical, and that just doesn't resonate with people in today in the modern world. You know what I mean? Exactly what Uncle Rick said, right? I'll tell you one of the reasons why I stopped, and I've told you guys this story before, why I stopped going to church. I made a healthy donation to a church, and they used it to buy the pastor a car. And the treasurer, the person who was in charge of the money, was a woman. She was a woman. And that's one of the reasons I haven't stepped foot in the church since. And I don't donate money to anything for any cause anymore. I've completely turned off to it. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse, because I would just say exactly what Uncle Rick said. So I'll just say what Uncle Rick said.
Mr. Bennett, talk to me.
Wow, guys, I wasn't expecting this. So, wow, it is no doubt.
Alex, speak Keaton. What cat told you they was hurting?
What was that?
Oh, he muted. Hey, mute Rick. I got him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, I mean that's a major controversy in the church, no question about it. In terms, should women be in leadership? Now, as far as teaching, I'm not going to be as strict on that, because I can go to Acts. We talk about Aquila and Priscilla; they taught Apollos. So again, for a woman to teach a man, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as she's teaching the facts from the Word of God. I have no issues with that. As far as a woman having leadership and authority over a man, again, there have been examples in the Bible. One of the judges, Deborah, she was a military leader over men. And again, so these are the cases. Should that be the norm, or those the exception, or do the times mandate that these things happen in this time? That's the debate. I've seen it. I prefer having men in leadership, but having said that too, men has done just as much damage to the church and to the world as women have. So I'm not going to say, well, the church is in trouble because women are running it. No, what the men who were running things didn't do things well. And I think, in those voids, I think women filled the voids, rightly or wrongly. But if you want to, especially if you want to go to the Bible, men have messed things up for a very long time, and it wasn't just a woman who was at the cause of it. So I don't want to make women the scapegoats. And again, I know I might be on an island just based on who's on this panel here, but I think it's a healthy debate. I don't condemn anybody for believing one way or another. Everyone can go and cite Bible and verse on certain things, but my thing is, are you teaching people to be better? Are you teaching the Word of God? And as long as that's done, man or woman, I don't necessarily see a problem with it. That's my personal opinion.
All right, take heed to the message.
I'm not gonna agree with a lot of y'all on the panel. Yeah, I'm not gonna agree. So, and a lot of people that's in the chat. Women were not called to be pastors. They were not called to be preachers. That's not what the law says in the Bible. So even if they have situations that happen in the Bible for teaching that women did to men, the law still states that women are not supposed to be preachers. They're not supposed to be pastors. They're not supposed to be in the pulpit. So it's still wrong, even if there were situations in the Bible that women did teach. Now, yes, we're going to teach because we are the first teachers for the children. We're going to teach. You're going to have situations where you may have to show a man how to do something. But God didn't mean for us to have dominion over the church. He didn't want that. He didn't want that for us because he wanted the man to always be the head. And I know a lot of brothers get offended by this because I had a brother that was in Instagram and he was wilding out on me. And he's like a big influencer. He was DMing me like every scripture in the Bible. Like we're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, listen, you call whatever you say, a spade is still a spade. God law said that we're not called to preach in the church. That anything we have questions for, we're supposed to ask our husbands. So that's my take on it. That's how I feel. Anybody could be offended or whatever. I don't care. I said what I said, and that's it.
All right. Let's see. Reckless Ray, talk to me.
Yeah, y'all ain't ready for this. Most of y'all don't even follow the real Bible. I mean, let's call a spade since we're calling spades spades. King James Version of Bible ain't the real Bible. Dude wrote that on his deathbed. Also, the church within and of itself, sure. It's the truth. It's what it is.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying there were others before that, but that just became
100%. There's plenty of other ones. There's plenty of heretical texts that most of you have never read either. You read the Book of Enoch. That's in one of the original copies of the Bible, but they took it out.
Here's what. Hold on a second, Ray. Here's what we don't want to turn the conversation on whether or not this book or that book is relevant.
No. It's not a matter of this book or that book. The premise of it is we pick and choose. Christianity historically has always picked and chosen. We decide we're going to do this, and then we just kill off all the people that don't want to do what we want to do because we want to rock how we want to rock. And then you go forward and forward and forward, and now we're having an argument about who gets to be the leader. What is the establishment of the religion? Things are based on oaths and codes. The further you go away from your oaths and your codes, the weaker your religion, the weaker your society, the weaker your belief. The further you go away from that, because things are made on oaths and codes
and trust.
It also true. So if you're going to move and we're going to have this conversation in jest, I mean, we've gone so far away from that. Like literally, civilization's falling apart because nobody wants to do anything. Everybody wants to do whatever the hell they want to do. And then you have a small group of people who say that, oh, well, we really believe because we're really upset. In a religion that is the core foundation of a society that is crumbling. And all we do is sit here and we can take our stances, and I can agree with you because I can agree with any religion that is based on universal principle. Christianity is based on universal principle. It's supposed to be. But when you start cherry picking it, it gets real accepting real quick, which isn't even what religion is about. Religion is about intolerance. And y'all want to tolerate everything to the tune that society is now collapsing and women are in charge of everything.
And I agree, and I'll say this as a pushback on that. I agree that the world is crumbling, and I think the reason that the world is crumbling is because everybody's out of line. Right. I think the alignment is off. Nobody's following the word that they say they believe in, and I think that right now there are men like Pastor Jennings is one of. I love Pastor Jennings because he don't hold back on nobody. He gonna tell your ass what it is. And he'll tell you, you're sitting up there as a man, letting a woman lead. And when it's time, when the pressure comes, the woman cannot handle that pressure. She was not built to handle that pressure. She was not built to lead. How many women do you know that can lead 100 men today into the wilderness and those and show those men how to come out of that wilderness, you know, physically, mentally, you know, spiritually, right? It's not a lot. Now we got women who are in the pulpit pulling their wigs off and throwing them in the crowd, and women are falling out and passing out. I saw Juanita Bynum, one of the world-renowned pastors, who charged $1,400 a ticket to come sit there and watch her walk up and down the goddamn stage, and women and some punk ass men are sitting there in her audience saying, "Yes, Lord Jesus," and she's you know, the last video I saw this dumb woman, she had a water gun with oil in it, shooting it on people, saying your blessing, your blessing, your blessing, with a goddamn water gun. So go watch that. Then you have Sarah Jakes, TD Jakes, you know, will get up for years. If you go back and watch some of his stuff, he's so hypocritical, because he said the very thing that we're talking about tonight: Black women should not be teaching or have authority over a man. Now your daughter has all of a sudden woke up one morning like like Muhammad and said, "I've been called to preach and God told me." But the Bible says that God give provision to the and not to the. We fill in the blanks, right? And so my thing is, if he's not giving you that provision to lead an entire flock of people, but your daddy at church pouring oil on your wig and giving you the microphone and telling you that this is your destiny and God called you to do such a thing. So I listen, guys. It's crazy because men are allowing it, and I'm with Geno. I'm with Geno Jennings. I love him. I love him because he's telling the truth. I love him because he knows things are out of line. And the reason that they're out of line is because men have failed. Men don't want to speak up no more. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move on. There are men in marriages who won't tell their wives, we are one. We don't have separate accounts. Everything's gonna be in one pot. There are men who are afraid to do that. There are men who says, wife, you cannot go to church and be a pastor because you are not called to be such a thing. You were called to be quiet. You will call if you want something to know something, you come to me, right? We were called, but there are women out there that will argue that God called us to do such a thing. And I'm going to show y'all this next video because it goes into what Reckless was just saying about how corrupted the world is today. This woman right here truly believes that women were called, and I'm going to break her ass down parenthetically. I'm going to break her. I'm going to just break her down, because I think that women who will sit on these platforms and just lie and just lie and just lie. I am being called. Oh, God called me. And then you coming out. God told you. The Bible says that women should adorn themselves, not on the outside, but on the inside. Women should not be walking around here with their eyelashes looking like the spray painted hospital gloves. They shouldn't be walking around here with 9 layers of makeup on. They shouldn't be walking around here with their skirts up. There are some preachers, let me tell you something. I went to church one time and saw a woman singing. She walked across the stage in a tight skirt, body like Serena Williams. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. I was thinking about jacking off, because I was a kid at the time. I was 16. I wasn't thinking about Jesus. I was thinking about jacking off when I got home. I was 16.
I don't chase booty.
I don't chase it, right. And also, I've seen, as I grew older, I see Erica Campbell on the Grammys come out in an all white, skin tight. Woo! Goddamn! I said, Lord, have mercy. And so my thing is, when you get into these positions, a lot of these women doing it for sex appeal. A lot of these men are coming to church to see that ass. They're not coming to take a Bible class. But I'm going to play this video. And we're going to break this woman down because she truly believes that women are called, and she's trying to put it in an era where the time.
Can I say something real quick before you go to the video, please?
Go ahead, Arpane, run your mouth.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is where the secular world goes into the non-secular world. Right? Because I don't believe women should be in charge of men, period. I don't believe a woman should be president. I don't believe a woman should be a police chief. I don't believe a woman should be leading a mayor. Look at all the goddamn female mayors in those goddamn cities falling apart. Women should not be in charge of men at that level. So it really stands to reason they shouldn't be behind a pulpit using their feelings and their influence. And I had an argument with somebody about women's right to vote. Now, because we talked about whether they should be consigned to do selective service. I know, JT, we talked about it. If women want to have the right to vote, and they want to be equality, all the obligations that come with that right, they should be under that same goddamn thing. We should be making exceptions. Listen, I said this. Listen, as men, we wouldn't be goddamn talking about Roe v. Wade if women weren't voting. We wouldn't be talking about same-sex marriages if women weren't voting. If we wouldn't be talking about half the bullshit that we're going through right now if women didn't have the right to vote. Now, I don't believe they shouldn't have the right to vote, but we should recognize the power of their feelings and the influence it has on the way we live. And so if they're going to have that influence, they should be obligated to do every goddamn thing that we should be as a man. But that's all I'm saying. Let me leave that.
But I'll say this before I play the video. Even later in the week, I don't know if it went viral. Clarissa Shields says she's ready to get in the ring with a man.
Don't do that. That's not even worth talking about. Don't do that. Let me say this. This is men's problem. Y'all complicate shit way too much for something that's simple as rain, right? Look at the video you just showed at the beginning, right? The truth is women are not capable of on their own without the lessons of a man to do anything correctly except breastfeed and birth a child. This is shit y'all don't want to talk about. The Bible is about bloodlines and the nature of human beings.
Yep. Come on. You talking.
Listen, this is about nature. The nature of a woman when she is in power, there's exceptions to every fucking rule. I'm so sick of y'all trying to make the exception the majority. You people are exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what the fuck I'm saying. You go to Christian Rock live, she talking about getting beat up between her baby mama and her baby. It's millions. It's millions. The truth is most women aren't capable of handling positions of power. They can't do it. But everybody want to say, oh, because look, the truth is, and the truth is this, right? The reason why you're able to bear children and have children and make such exceptional children is because you have a husband that's there to teach you the lessons, to teach you the right. Hopefully he was raised correctly. Right? So stop it with this bullshit. If y'all such good leaders, why y'all always blaming men?
Did you hear what I said?
You independent, but when you get with a man, he got to pay even though you're independent. Yeah, I make my own money, girl, but if you get with me, you're not capable of it. Stop giving them this leeway. Listen to what I'm saying. I ain't saying you don't love your woman. I don't saying you take care of you. That's what you're supposed to do. But it comes a time when your wife gonna be looking at you like, what type of fucking man are you?
Exactly.
It's not in y'all nature to be under that type of stress. It's not. The reason why when they go through these things and they can't let them go is simply because their body is not built, their mental is not built like men to use it and build a building block. No, they jump into survival mode and carry that baggage from one next to the next, to the next, to the next, until they get to a man that's patient enough to teach them the ways of the fucking Wu-Tang.
And you know what, Rick? Look at it like Anissa right here. Anissa's not here tonight. She's running like a naked man on fire out of the
because the men y'all want to lead are listening to y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
She said, if men are such good leaders, why is the world so fucked up? Y'all leaders right now. I will say to Anissa on this particular comment, the world is not the way it's supposed to be, because men have lost their way. They're softer than ever. They're being raised by people who make them soft. And men are not telling the truth. It's just like the baby, am I fat in this dress? You should say, yes, baby, you fat as fuck in that dress. Because you should start telling the truth. I ain't saying be that vulgar. God damn it, be nice. But I'm just saying, if she said, baby, if I'm fat in this dress, yes, you are. You start telling the truth. Baby, you know, how does this look? I don't like it. And so you have to start telling the truth. And if you start baby caking You're going to continue to baby cake, and women are not going to respect you. And when things happen, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you this, and I wasn't going to say this. Lord, I wasn't going to say this. I got some people I went to dinner with, and his wife said these words, and I would be embarrassed to be a motherfucking man if my wife said this. She said, you know what? There's some strange people walking outside around this restaurant. We were in downtown Dallas. She said, man, these homeless people. She said, she called my name and she called my other brother's name. She said, I'm so glad y'all here to protect me if some shit go down. And her husband sitting right there. You don't call your own man name. Now, these friends now, you don't call your own husband name when you mention protection. You calling me and my brother name. So you know what, Anissa, I wish she was here tonight. But you know what? I knew you weren't coming for this one. I knew it.
Well, you know what?
Can I finish my thought though? Can I finish my thought?
I'm sorry, Ricky.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Ricky, I disagree with you, sir.
Ooh.
I disagree with you, sir. Because I want equal rights, Ricky.
Hey, thank you for coming back to me. I appreciate. Thank you for that layup. 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 I appreciate the assist, Steph Curry, right? I appreciate it, right? Anissa,
I want equal rights, Ricky.
Anissa, it's the fucked up laws that some goofy ass man passed to make his wife happy. That's fucking with the world.
Did you hear what I said?
That's and the truth is, let me be 100% honest with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna like me after this. Fuck it, I don't care. Y'all don't understand violence. You don't.
No, she's talking to her boo.
If y'all think y'all can act how y'all do without getting your ass whooped, let me know what's popping.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
My the very things y'all have, the only reason you have it is because a man is willing to protect your ass from it.
That's nasty.
Play your motherfucking position. Because the truth is, the reason why a lot of y'all ain't got no man, because y'all can't take no man telling y'all what's real.
Come on.
Y'all can't take no man being thorough with your ass and telling you shut up and sit your motherfucking ass down. You out of pocket.
Preach, Ricky.
Yep. They ain't trying to hear it. They ain't trying to hear it.
Y'all don't get men because you don't want real men. Y'all take a goofy for some dick. Y'all take them for some dollars, but you won't have them in your bed for more than 6 months. Because y'all know what a real fucking nigga is. Y'all know what a man is, but y'all don't want to admit it, right? Because then you have to say I'm wrong. And we know y'all hate being wrong.
Hey, Ricky, but you know what? Men got to do too. Men got to start stepping up to the plate and making them pay for their comments. There was a young lady at my job, very attractive young lady at my job, and all she talk about is no huddles with those women are, I don't need a man. I'm independent. I don't feel the need to have a man. I can have my money and be alone. I can do all this. And then today, matter of fact, it was today. Today she come in with a bigger, because we moved our building to downtown Dallas in our corporate office. She come in with a big old box. And she said, nobody gonna help me. I said, no, you're independent. I'm not helping you. You're gonna pay. Listen, you're gonna pay for what you say. And some of the girls in the office frowned at me and looked at me stupid like, damn. I said, absolutely. If you're sitting here every day talking about you don't need a man, men are not important, why are men still around? Women are dominant. If you're dominant, carry that fucking box. You big dummy. And that goes that goes for any woman. If I see a woman cussing a man out and you think I'm going to open the door for her, pull her chair out, do anything, I'm not. Chivalry is dead for women who are emotionally dead.
When I said this same thing about the woman in Chicago, people got mad with me.
Yeah.
Why didn't those men help when that whole thing happened in the restaurant? Why didn't they help? It was because she got up there thinking she was big and bad and got indignant with that boy. Even though that boy was a son husband, that thing was coming from a mile away. But still, okay? She got up there and got indignant with that boy. and you can tell he had some gang affiliation, still got up there and indignant. And when I said it, everybody said, "Oh, sis, you wrong. You wrong. What kind of woman is you?" When I was speaking the truth. Black men don't get in nonsense. They don't listen. They have a job to do to protect their family. They didn't go to the restaurant to say, "I'm going to protect some woman." They do not know when she on demon time. When I say it, everybody like, "Oh, take heed is wrong." See, this is what I'm talking about.
Take heed. But you know what though? Even when that woman went out, and I'm gonna say it, and I don't give a fuck, because a lot of people say, "Oh, he did, he should have did." He should. Listen, my thing is this: if a woman loves her son, a woman loves her husband, she would never put him in position.
Amen.
To do anything stupid or to take his life from him. Watch this. And the reason I said that is because at 2:00 in the morning, why the hell do you have your teenage son out at 2:00 in the morning getting fucking hot dogs? Matter of fact, why aren't you cooking at the house? Did you cook anything that day? Why, or did your son get up at 2:00 in the morning and say, "Mama, let's go get a hot dog"? Why aren't you cooking for your son? Why are you a woman that is not uncovered, don't got no man, uncovered at 2:00 in the morning looking for a goddamn hot dog?
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Somebody should help me.
Yes, but my problem is why you ain't cooked dinner. That's my whole thing.
Come on.
Why you ain't cooked dinner? That's my whole thing. Okay.
Right, so
and then you got the peace be still, the peace be still. Everybody think that peace be still is something. Only how you got away from that whole thing is because that boy was on his own. And they said it was a thing.
Rice or wrong, it still take 5 minutes. Take heed. Rice or wrong, it still take 5 minutes.
It's never their fault.
But when I said it, I'm the enemy. They was calling me all
It's
types
never
of
their
names,
fault.
I'm ugly and everything. I'm the enemy when I said it.
It's never their fault. Don't you be blaming the victim. It's never their fault.
Listen.
But that's an old.
Nobody thought about that boy though. Nobody thought about that boy, him waking up in cold sweats at night, about him deleting somebody. Nobody thought about that. No, he's trying to protect his mother. He's trying to protect his mother. That's all I got. That's all I got. People will say he's trying to protect his mother. Where were all the black men supposed to help? When first of all, let me share something with you. When black men see that you on demon time, they not supposed to go and assist you when you on demon time.
Come on.
They are designed to protect their families alone. They're not designed to protect strangers that's doing nonsense on demon time. You know, that's just my take on it. That's just my take on it.
Hey, can I say something before you go into the video, Black Man? And it's gonna be brief, bro. This is the thing that I've observed. We have weak people, women and men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, what's happening and what has been happening is what? Something that has been happening for thousands and millions of years, history. And it's being documented. What's happening right now, in my opinion, is that this is a fucking reset. It's going to be a whole bunch of people being sacrificed to show what this is all about, what to do and what not to do. One of the things I do understand is that if a man is not consider himself as a God-realized man, because if he is God-fearing, that means that he's doing the will of God, right? Which means he realizes that he can create and destroy. Not at the magnitude of the all high, but he can create and destroy. Most of these men that's running around here right now is just they shaking the dice, right? Some men actually understand that they're God realized. They know it, especially when they're with a woman. Let me tell you one of the things that women are scared to do when they're with a man that's on his motherfucking purpose. They're scared to get their feelings hurt. They would rather go through life fucking up left and right until they're 50 and 60 years old, right? When it's too fucking late.
Mm-hmm.
To sacrifice their own fucking ego when your man is telling you, sit your ass down. That is not a good idea. We not doing this shit. They will argue that man down until they make that man really realize that I ain't no motherfucking leader. And what'd he do? Leave, get upset, mad. But when he's not going to leave, you end up leaving. Why? Because that motherfucker knows he's a God-realized man. We will hurt your fucking feelings all damn day. Assholes. I'm an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
Let me tell you what to do.
Hey,
Everything is bro. To take care of. If you don't want to be up under my tutelage, all right, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
If the worst thing that you can get from me is for me to hurt your feelings, then what the fuck are we talking about? And that's what I see a lot of right now.
Anybody that's telling you yes all the time don't love you.
No. Facts.
So is this what we're
Lost in translation. Go ahead, brother.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry, Trey.
I want
Trey, you go first.
Trey, go ahead. Go ahead, Trey.
So my question going forward is this what we're going to live through for the next millennium? Is this the type of rhetoric that we're going to continue to live out? You know, it's a lot of people out there who ain't even got a chance to even explore life. It's a lot of young brothers and sisters out there still, you know, scratching at the surface, trying to find their true calling, whatever lane they choose. And it's like they getting wiped out from the beginning because, you know, we don't really control a lot of what's pumped into our communities as far as resources and things like that. But I think now as going forward, I think if Black people can fill up any space and talk, boy, we can talk. Oh my God, everybody should have an individual show. But the problem is this propaganda and this feminism has been pushed so deep into our fabric. How do we get out of it? How do we save our children going forward? Because y'all have, anybody got a young boy, a young girl, and anybody ain't got no children, you want to have children. You better take control of your life right now. You better do whatever you have to do to discipline yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, financially right now. You can't continue to live in this rhetoric, whether you go to church or not. You better find some good in that Bible, and you better watch the people, because the people gonna tell you the evil in the Bible. You can look at people around you, and they're gonna tell you all the evil you need to know. Other than that, focus on self. Love self first. Love your people that you trust, that trust you. Other than that, don't worry about people when you're young, man. Do right by people. Do what our big noses and big lips call for. We the righteous people of the sun, so we gotta get away from all this vanity and focus on our true nature. I think we'll come alive and thrive. We'll thrive.
You know what, Trey? I'm gonna say this before Lost in Translation jumped in. We need to. I'm gonna answer your question. We as men, especially fathers, oh God, it's just so important, Jesus. I went to my daughter's basketball game Monday, and it was a few fathers there, but it was a whole lot of mamas. And I made enough noise for all them babies, right? But I will say this. We need to have the old shit complex come back. When something happens at the school that my kids attend, they see me coming, they say, oh shit, he come. Mm-hmm. When I walk through the door, they doing this. Because they know I'm coming about their business. I'm coming to stand on business. They know I'm done. They know I'm coming. They change rules, policies. They know I'm coming. And I think more fathers need to be like that with their children. They need to know when you try to do something to this child, he coming. When this child do something, his daddy gonna hold him accountable, right? We need to have the old shit complex come back. People need to see us coming and be like, damn it, here they come.
Yo, we need to realize what world we living in first and foremost.
Yeah.
Right. That's the problem. Like, y'all, so this is about the Bible. Wasn't this foretold?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? At the end of the day, what you should be doing is this: build a foundation for your family first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost. Fathers, stop failing your children. Mothers, stop failing your children.
Yep.
Contrary to popular belief, ladies, you being a single mother is not a successful endeavor. As a man, you leaving a child a bastard is not a successful endeavor. Even the things y'all consider them a success is not of God. Is not of God. They get money and become an NFL player, some shit like that. That's not of God. That's of this world. Right? Stop failing your fucking families first. Y'all saying ain't shit gonna change because pussy is just a swipe away. Dick is just a swipe away. Ain't shit gonna change. This shit is over with. I keep telling y'all this shit. It was meant to happen. It's happened to societies across the earth for millennia.
and y'all think y'all exempt. You're not exempt. This is the nature of people. Take care of your fucking families first. Teach them how to sustain so when the shit hit the fan, at least y'all got a fucking squad that can take on the fucking robber baron. That's what y'all need to be doing. This shit was meant, it's gonna continue to happen.
Isaiah 5:20 says, "They in the end days, what is right will be considered wrong, and what's wrong will be right. Black will be considered white. White will be considered black. Bitter is to sweet, and sweet will be as to bitter." That's Isaiah 5:20.
But y'all don't believe y'all own book. Y'all don't believe y'all own holy book.
It's not about believing the book. You have to follow it. You have to attend. You have, like you guys said, how do I find myself, or how do I find a way? You got to be around fellowship. You have to be around people that are actually living out the word of God and teaching, that are really moving with God. You know what I'm saying? So only then you will be inspired. Only then people will lead you. People are inspired by true leadership.
Well,
So it does start
what
with
is
the
true leadership?
divine order in everything.
I mean, that references back to what is true leadership. Who should be followed? Most of you, most people don't have discipline enough to have their finances in order, and they ain't got their bodies in order.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the leaders? Where's the example? Because y'all don't want to listen to me, which is fair. Because, my personal opinion, I'd wipe a bunch of people out. You don't want me in charge. You don't want people like me in charge, because I win at any cost.
But you know what's funny, Ray? If you really say you win in the physical realm, right? You applying that that pizzazz to the spiritual aspect, you'll be off the chain. But it's a lot of us, we focus on what we can physically attain, the tangible things of the world, things like that, and we let our spiritual life fall off the cliff. And then we wonder why nobody has more. We wonder why people
to disassociate from their lack of discipline in anything else. Oh, I'll be disciplined in this ethereal thing where we all get to cherry pick and make up our own religion or our own version of the religion, or I'll follow the same book that you read the way that I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. You're not hardcore in religion. You get to cherry pick your version of your religion out of the same book that you're all reading, and no one agrees on what the shit says or follows the same rules.
But see,
I believe that there are people that do stick to it and that are, but they're the ones that demonize. They're not the ones that's popular, because obviously you don't want to follow anybody that's telling you no, right?
So
you don't want
to. But my question is this, and this is interesting because I just got done watching Saint do this exact same breakdown on the red pill. If there's no leader, or if you have 18 leaders that do this differently, then how can you go and point and say, well, this is what we're doing, if we're all reading the same book and doing different things, going, I'm the leader and I'm prescribing exactly what I think we should all be doing.
That's confusion.
It's confusion. But the thing, the word is you can say, well, but go back to the word, refer back to the word, don't refer back to people.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Okay, that's
you will know them by their fruits. Right. Look at the fruit. You are a man, you are a businessman. I know that you're this and that because by your fruits. That is just it, point blank, direct. That is it. So the more that we layer on that, the gimmicks that we put on it, the wigs that we throw off, that's when we go to the left. And a lot of people it's easier to put on theatrics. Mm-hmm. It's easier to have a gimmick. It's easier to say buy now. It's easier to say give me $1,400 because it sounds good.
Right.
But okay, now what are you off screen? How are you behind the closed doors? Because we see a lot of craziness happening behind closed doors that you aren't disciplined, as you said.
Right.
Look at Jesus. He was at his peak moment, getting ready to be crucified, and he asked the people, his men, to pray with him for an hour. They couldn't even do that.
Right.
So it's all written. It's all there. The thing is that we don't read. We get mad. We get in our emotions. We get home. We run away, and we don't refer back to the word. We refer back to the man. The man hurt me, so I'm leaving the church. That's the problem. That's where people are.
So let's get lost in translation in here. And that's why lost in translation before you go. That's why I don't go to Bible study anymore, guys. Because me and one of the pastors there, it almost became you're saying one, and I keep telling him, I keep repeating to him, which made him mad to the point he wanted to go fisticuffs. And I know he didn't want to get his ass whooped under the But he kept saying, I ain't gonna say it, don't get mad because we're gonna keep I kept saying, but what does the word say? But what does the word say? But what does the word say? It doesn't matter what I say. What does the word say? What does the word say? And he just, but there's no buts. What does the word say? What is the word? You're saying one thing, but what does this say that you're following, that you're preaching to people? What does it say? And he got pissed off. He was hot. Go ahead, Lost in Translation.
You know what? Here's the thing. What people like to do is they like to get confused about what the real issue is.
Come on.
Let me tell y'all something, man. I've been raised in the church from the ground up, and it's built into me. You know how I know? Because my grandmother used to sit around and tell me all the time, train up a child in the way he should go. When he's older, he won't be departed. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, Granny, you know what you're talking about. But what she didn't tell me, she didn't have me time to tell me, was that when you're older, people are going to play on your insecurities. And what's going to happen is you're going to feel that need to want to connect. So you know what else she told me? She said, look, when you're faced with situations like that, since I've built you a certain way, I'm going to give you something that's going to help you along the way in case you forget or in case you want to feel like you left out. She said, 1 Corinthians 15:33, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. It is not wrong to have friends who do not know God. However, it is very wrong and foolish for a Christian to copy evil behavior. So what happened was that confirmed what she said earlier about train up a child the way he should go and he will not depart. I said, okay, Granny, now you cooking. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And here's the thing. The problem that we have today is we don't want to take time to fellowship and know the rules as we should. And the problem is we like to cherry pick certain things. And then we like to say, see, the Bible don't work. No, the Bible works. You just don't work the Bible. That's the problem. Because you ain't got enough word in you to know and have it prove itself over and over again. Those who sit and they steady under the feet of the masters shall someday be masters as well. But if all you do is mock those who have studied and you haven't shown yourself improved, then the problem is nobody's going to listen to you anyway. Because like Wife School Podcast said earlier, you haven't developed your spiritual fruit. How can you tell somebody else what they should do when your fruit is barren? You have no fruit. And that also says in the Bible as well, you shall know a tree by its fruit that it bears. This thing confirms itself. So whether who wrote it or whatever wrote it, you know what I mean? It don't matter. The problem is that we get so busy, wrapped up in who wrote it instead of having fellowship with God himself. That is the main purpose. Do you think that Adam had a Bible when he was with Eve in the garden? Heck no. You see what I'm saying? Nobody had written anything. God wants the fellowship. God does not need to be confirmed. You know what I'm saying? He's bad all by himself. The problem is we have to make sure that we prepare ourselves for him to fellowship with us in our hearts. And I think that's the problem. We're too busy putting things of this world in our bosom, and it corrupts us little by little. You see what I'm saying? And what I wanted to talk to you about when they said that women shouldn't teach in the church, I'm going to explain to you why. Because that's the problem with a lot of times with the church. We don't go into the why because we want to hurt people's feelings. Let me explain to you why. Even though men and women are actually have pressure applied to them equally, they respond differently. You see what I'm saying? When a woman is actually a pressure pushed upon herself, she has the tendency to capitulate and give in to those who have more power than she does and say, you know what? You're right. I give in. Even though she knows what she knows is wrong in that particular situation. Now, with men, it's different. When men have that same pressure applied to them, they respond differently because they have the will and they have the strength to respond differently. They said, my programming says I do this. It's like Trey said when he was a police officer, he said, I rely back to my training. You see what I'm saying? When I'm in this particular situation, I apply back to my training. So regardless of how I feel, regardless of the situation that I'm in, I rely back on my training. The problem is we don't want to train. But here's the thing. The training is not on your father. The training is not on your mother. Because sometimes we don't always have mother and father. But I will tell you this. You do have eyes and you do have ears. And you can always get around people who know what they're doing. The problem is we have to humble ourselves and say, hey, you know what, Mr. Bennett? I really like what you said the other day, but I got a small question I want to ask you. And humble yourself. That way you can learn. That's the most important thing you can learn as a person. Eliminate your insecurities by buttressing it with humbleness. And then that way you can learn. And then that way you can be sure about yourself. And you can boldly go into the world and ask questions. Why? Because the whys will give you the answers that you're looking for. But you can't walk amongst the world saying, I know everything. It's not going to work that way. And that's the main reason why men and women apply things differently. And that's probably the main reason why they don't want women leading in churches, because they have the ability to capitulate in the adversity or when they come across some type of pressure. But we live in a society where we want to be accepted by women because of what they offer. The problem is we love to tell men how important they are, so much so that women don't want to be women anymore. The problem is we should also tell women that your role is just as important. It is just different. The reason why I don't want you on the front line is because you're valuable. You can produce more of us. That's the reason why Spartan women didn't go into war. They had their own situation. They trained the child to a certain point and they turned them over to the men. And at that point, the men said, you know what, we're going to raise us another soldier. They didn't have Spartan women out there fighting because they understood. And the Spartan women knew that they were understood. Their job was to create more Spartan soldiers. So women, I don't want you to feel like you're insecure. I don't want you to feel like what you're doing is unimportant. I don't want you to think that your role is not important. It's just different. And we should value it the same way as we value men. So my thing is this: whenever you get into a particular situation and you're feeling unsure about yourself, ask someone, talk to someone, ask questions, search yourself, humble yourself. And then that way you can be a better person. And if each and every person did that, we would have a better world, and we wouldn't have to worry about what kind of world we live in, because we're the ones who change it, because we're the ones who are in it.
Why can't we get to the point where we're turning over tables? I think we've gotten to the point where everybody's just scared. Men are fearful now. Men don't want to speak up and say nothing. They can see something wrong. I'm not going to say nothing that's going to affect my church. Pastors won't preach certain things because it's affecting the church, right? I don't understand how even to the point where I went to my brother plays bass guitar at a church.
Black man, you know the answer to that question.
I'm getting there. So my brother plays bass guitar for a church. He invited me because he just got hired at church. I said, I'll come and support you, brother. No problem. I get over there. There are women running around the damn sanctuary with flags. That's what the fuck is. And they get to the front, and one woman says, "Everybody together. The Spirit of the Lord is here." I say, "Bullshit. It's time to go." Because I knew, and let me tell you why it was time to go. Because you have, as a man, you have to have discernment. My wife said, "What are we leaving for?" I said, you have to have discernment as a man to know what the word says. And like Lost in Translation said, it has to be in you. And when I heard those women doing all those tongues, I know that in the Bible it says that if you do not have an interpreter of that tongue, you sound ludicrous. You sound like a crazy person. So if a non-believer walks into a room of people talking tongues, they're going to say, who is this God they serve? They sound like they're crazy. And so I know that if there's no interpreter of tongue, why am I here? Why are men not turning over the tables? Why can't we say, hey, listen, brother, I love you as a human being, but your lifestyle is not what I believe in my spiritual realm. And if you ask me a question, I can say the Bible says, hey, listen, no man should lay with another man as if that man is his wife. Why can't I say that to you without you calling me homophobic are you saying I'm a hate or I'm a hater or we gonna shut you down? Why do I have to be pierced to the cross? Because I'm telling you what the word says. I'm not veering from it. I've had these conversations with my mom. Mama, you went to church today. The preacher danced around. He spun around in a circle. He sung real good. He screamed to the top of his lungs. But when you walked out the door, Mama, not the pastor, but when you walked out, what was the sermon today? I don't remember, but he preached. You see what I'm saying? So
you keep answering my why we can end this live at any time. Right, you just coming back to what I'm telling y'all. This is not. Exactly. This is the devil's world. I'm because I gotta go because I gotta work in the morning. Right, so shout out to y'all. I respect all y'all opinions, but I'm gonna ask y'all one question. When you pray, to the Most High, and you hear that voice in your head, is it your voice or somebody else's?
Y'all
have a good night.
All right, love you, Rick, man. Thank you, brother, for coming, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Hey,
we need to address the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant?
That these churches have sold out for the money.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But the fact of
Trey, they've always sold out for the money.
Second. And the fact of the matter is that women spend money.
Here comes the money.
Women spend money. So they have catered the church to the woman on purpose because that's probably what's keeping the lights on. Because they know that men like me will walk away and I'll take my wallet with me.
Well, let's add, because that's true, but there's a lot of things are true, not only in the church, but in the secular world as well. Now, listen, and some things are subtle. When we started accepting women calling husbands partners, it's really subtle. Because to men, a lot of times we think it's harmless, but to women, that shit has meaning like chess. To us, we're playing checkers. Women, when they call you a partner, they're telling you that there's conditions on your relationship. And I tell my wife, she doesn't call me that, but I say to guys, if you're really happily married and correctly married, your obligations to your wife far exceed what she gives you back. By definition. Now, I've been married for 36 years. Now, my wife she's been catering to me. She's been beautiful, right? But she's the one who goes to bed at night. And when she puts her head on the pillow, she's out in 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. And I take credit for the fact that she don't got no worries. For 38 years, and hopefully for the rest of my life, my job, when I told her father that I was going to take care of her for a lifetime, obligated me for a lifetime. She don't have that obligation. Her vows take her there, but I looked at another man in his eyes and said, you know what? No matter ups, downs, here and there, I'm gonna make sure your daughter's okay. Not only when I'm alive, but when I'm dead. So I don't want to hear none of this shit that we're partners. You're my wife and I'm your husband. And when men started, every time I hear a man say my partner, I said, you asshole.
You should punch him in the face. Punch him in the face.
Your wife ain't your partner. She's your wife. And like I said, my wife, and I'm going to land here, my wife calls me husband. That's what she calls me. Hey, and she always says it, hey there, husband. Hey there, husband. Hey there. And I can't remember the last time she called me by my first name. And when she does that, it's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, but she
toughest things any man has ever done is turn down a nice piece of willing, steaming ass piece of pussy.
Pain, the next time a guy says he has a partner, you should kick him right in his fupa.
Oh, I correct him every
time. Kick him in his fupa.
It is fupa.
No, I have pushback. No, I have pushback for our
you push back all you want.
I have pushback, sir. Okay? Because I want equal rights, damn it. I want equal rights.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I want equal rights, damn it. That's
No,
right.
no,
I
no.
want equal rights. I want to be called partner in everything. Okay. My
you know
husband.
what?
Oh, no,
It's just
wait a minute. I'm only playing. Let me not get serious.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
but you know what, Take Heed though,
I
a
gotta
lot, like
go
I said
upstairs.
again,
Let me not get serious.
yeah,
I
a lot
hear
of
you. I hear
pastors,
you,
say that about their wives. Yeah, hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for, you know how they get done. They always patting their face with the napkin. Just, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I so appreciate you this evening. I want y'all to meet my partner over there with Sister Mary. I'm looking like, what? It's crazy that so many people look at marriage as it. There's no leader there. There's partners, and I feel like men who say that, who are settling, they have settled because their women say that. Their men say it. They just a partner. Are we talking business? Are we talking? Because in a partnership, it's equal, right? We're equal to each other in the partnership, right? You got 50% of the business, I got 50%. I just don't look at it like that. I look at, for me and my marriage, I look at myself as being the leader, based on the fact that if anything happens, I want to take the force of anything that happens. I want to be the one that when something happens, my wife knows who to call. My children know who to call, right? When they need something, they know who to come to. I don't think that, they go, who should I ask? They partners. Let me see if I ask mama or should I ask daddy? I don't think it should be that way. But you go ahead, Mr. Bennett.
But is that but hang on, Black Man, is that a matter so much of when you say partner, why do we always go to equality 50-50? Do all partnerships 50-50?
Thank you,
That's
Mr.
what
Bennett.
Can you be a
Thank you.
70-20? I mean, you got
That's what that
partners got
means.
10%.
No.
So
no,
I mean,
that's not what
is
that
it
means
just
in marriage.
I'm just saying, are we automatically defaulting to that, or
That's what the
can
woman
Thank you,
does.
you
Mr.
still
Bennett.
use the word and mean, like, does it automatically mean that it's 50-50?
You know what? I hear your point. No. You got a point, but let me tell you,
No, it's a good
women
point.
are a whole lot more strategic in that matter than men. They're playing chess. You're in love and you're enamored. You think that partnership means something benign. To them, that shit don't mean that. It does not mean that. You fall down in your job for a year. You fall down in your job for 2 years. She's looking at the goddamn door. I'm telling you. You can sit down here and want to say all this benevolent stuff all you want. Women are playing chess.
She's looking at the door after 2 years, and you picked a shitty wife.
She looking for a reckless ray or a tray.
Man, when we talking about work, man, I don't want to get so hung up on the
No,
words
no.
that we
See,
use
that's
to
the problem.
describe
Y'all
the
think that
relationship.
women always want to run, but I mean, if you lead them with your wallet and like you didn't vet her properly, then Trey is right. You picked a horrible woman. I was on a roller coaster in my relationship, and I stick there for my husband because that's my husband, and that's what I'm supposed to do. We are together. We are one. Okay, so I have to pick up for him if he slaps me.
But wait a minute. But y'all not together now, though, right?
Hold on.
We're not together now, but
let's not make it personal. Let's not make
I'm not making it
and that's
personal. I'm just saying that there are limits.
That's not the reason why. It was a financial issue.
But the other thing is this, though. The other thing is this, Wife's School. Wait a minute. Hold on. I've been polite this whole time. Let me get this off.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This is the deal. Understanding that women are playing chess, they have a long-term game, that like we have an expectation of performance and nobody actually gives a fuck about us. How does that affect you in a negative light, us knowing that? How does that affect you? If I know that I got a job to do, then I just go do my fucking job. How is that negatively affecting you to the point to where like you want to argue about it?
No, it's not.
Is it that you're mad we know? Like what is it?
But let me interject. Let me just interject for a second, a real second. And I don't want to make this personal.
JT, you got next.
This certain.
It's all your fault, RP.
No.
The boomers, they made this shit.
Let me say, hold on for a second. There's certain things that's subtle, right? My wife, and I don't want to make this like a big thing. The pressures that's on a man to keep their family and all the obligations together for a lifetime is something that your wife should never know.
Yeah.
You guys don't know that. The fact that we're here takes that burden off your shoulders. And it's easy for you to take that shit for granted because I hide that shit from you. It's 30. Me and my wife been married for 36 years. Ups, downs, this, that, and the other thing. Half the shit that I had to do to make shit right. And I didn't have no real downs, but she doesn't know anything about that. I don't go to her and say, oh, this shit is fucked up. I need you to help me. No. Those kind of pressures, women never know. If you're a good husband, your wife should never know that. I'm telling you.
I knew everything. Why not?
No, because she don't need to. Because she don't need to.
That's a bullshit answer.
She don't
Why
need
not?
to. No,
Give me an
why should
actual
I
reason.
No.
Give me an actual reason why
she'll leave.
I'll ask you a question. She doesn't need to know all of those things that I did to keep things together because I had them under control. That's my job.
Give me an actual answer, or are you just gonna keep dancing around it?
No,
give me a reason why she doesn't need to know.
Go ahead, man. Say what you're gonna say.
It's because it'll trip the hypergamy genes, man. That's why.
Go ahead,
JT. Listen, Mr. Bennett, he made a valid inquiry because I did the same thing. Because I've heard it all my life that marriage was a partnership. I've heard it all my life that marriage was a business, right? And what I had to do myself is I had to ask those fucking questions to myself. Is that actually true, right? So what we're talking about, Mr. Bennett, is what we have with denotation and connotation, right? So yes, at some point, I mean, you could say it's a partnership or whatever, but man, the way that this shit has been taken through these, even when you hear off of these panels, partnership is equality. From which your question was, does it mean equality? Yes, to the most person, it does mean equality. So what we have to do as men is that we have to get to a point where we say, I'm responsible for all this shit. I'm responsible for all this shit. You're up under my tutelage. What's happening is that you don't have these type of relationships anymore. You have a bunch of fucking relationships where the men think that they're partners. They think that when the shit go down and that woman leaves, that man can go out and do exactly what she does when he go out there and put her on Front Street. Like when you had that one guy, what's the girl name that was the Usher shit? What's her name?
Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer, right? It was against the man fucking law for that man to put that woman on fucking blast. I don't care what nobody fucking say. He was supposed to have dealt with her, not her mama, not goddamn IG,
not her fans,
none of that shit. We have gotten to the point, man, where we have taken this too fucking far. What I'm saying is this. It's not a business. It is something that is way more beyond all of this shit we keep talking about. We keep telling people like Trey that marriage is a business. No, it's not. Marriage is marriage. It's what the fuck it is. And as a man, we have to be 100% accountable for everything, which means that upon our tutelage, they either have to do what the fuck we say or not. Now, if they don't believe in our word, they don't believe that we're following the all high, then they can leave. It's not a dictatorship.
But JT, let me tell you why I disagree. I agree with some of you what you said. But let me tell you why I disagree with the whole you said Keke thing, man law violation. My mama used to tell me, if you act an ass in this store, I'm gonna whoop your ass in this store. I'm gonna whoop your ass where you act an ass at. And I think that if I saw my wife on TV in Dallas, my wife said I'm going to Usher concert in Dallas, and I see on TV that shit is live across America, and I see my wife up on stage grinding on Usher, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. And I don't give a goddamn how many man law violations it is. I'm coming. Because what's happening is this. She embarrassed that man. You are a new mother. This man expecting you not to go out and behave as a woman. Everybody and their mama probably messaging this man. Damn, nigga, your girl on TV getting damn Usher might well pull her drawers down and fuck her on TV.
But let me ask
She
you a question.
grinding all up against this motherfucker. And what are you supposed
Was
to do?
that his wife or his
No,
baby
hold
mama?
on. So
By
do
the
you
mama.
go back and erase? This is my thing. Do you go back and erase the embarrassment? It's already done, right? The embarrassment is already done. So what you do is you deal with her directly. Fuck IG.
Okay.
But
That's how they
we've already
communicate now.
covered
You
this.
can't
We've already
bypass.
been down this road.
Right. I'm gonna
arguing
throw it back. Let's take Kiki out of it. Usher just did because he know what he's doing. Usher just did this again, but he did it with Jennifer Hudson, and her and Common are dating, right? Seriously dating, they say. And he walked up to her right in front of Common, grabbed her, start grinding on her and rubbing all up on her chest and her stomach, and Common just sitting like this, like just looking at him. He did what old boy I guess supposed to did. He just sitting there like, damn, this nigga grinding on my woman, touching my woman. God damn.
Like, man,
You guys are using the wrong example. What the example you should be using is the one on the concert that is directly after the Keke Palmer, which was with Wendy Harlow and Kyle Kuzma.
Okay,
that's the direction. That's the example you should be using because her reaction was the proper reaction.
Wait, hold on. Stayed in her man's lap.
And she sat on her man's lap and said, "Oh no, I'm good." That's the one we were talking about. But we beat this horse. I don't need to keep talking about it.
I
didn't make it for that point. Hold on, I didn't make it for that point at all. The point that I was making was that you deal with the woman that you're with. I get it. It may seem like it, but you deal with her. That's if you got a woman that's in the limelight and she's in Hollywood. First and foremost, man, it's something else to come with that. What I'm saying is this: that man did not deal with that woman the way he was supposed. He was supposed to deal with her directly. That's all I was saying. Regardless if it was Keke Palmer or any one of those goddamn Kikis. What I'm saying is that we have to, because women, this is the thing. She embarrassed him. So what do? Either we leave or we deal with it. Anywhere it go, we already is going to be able to. We got to hold that goddamn L, dog. We gonna have to.
You don't think he dealt with it? Y'all seen them pictures? I have a funny feeling he dealt with her ass.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I'm. Only thing I'm saying is this: it's only we can only see what we can see, right? That's what's on camera or whatever. All I'm saying is that we have to deal with the woman, not put her on Front Street. A lot of the problems that we have right now is that we have women putting men on Front Street. Putting men on Front Street. Of course, we got the Jada shit. We got all these motherfuckers that's out here, but they're in Hollywood. What I'm saying is you also have women that will go on, they ain't worth shit when it comes down to them and their celebrity. They're just on IG. And what do? They set that narrative. Baby daddy ain't shit. This nigga ain't shit. Whether they making up these stories or not, what I'm saying is that as men, we can't fall back into what these women are doing by doing exactly what they're doing. And what's happening right now, you got a bunch of men that's acting just like the fucking women that they're with. We have to, at some point, and listen, we done had every type of fucking show on here. One of the shows that stuck out with me was us as men being stoic, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we're not dealing with anymore. We're not. That's the only thing I was saying. But it comes down to it. Us being actually, when we are with a woman, being 100% responsible for that woman and that family that we're with. And if that comes with that, there's a lot of other things that comes with us being responsible and accountable for that bullshit.
And guess what, RP?
My school ain't buying none of this. Hey, my school, you ain't buying none of this. Let me explain to you why why these young guys won't listen to you, and why you guys are out of touch. They're using the word partnership, and instead of us telling them, don't do that, don't use that word, don't let them use that, what we should be teaching them is the levels of partnership. If you go to a law firm, there's levels to the partnership.
Absolutely.
There's a junior partner. There's a senior partner. There is a senior managing partner. There are levels to this game. Jay-Z is a minority owner. Usher is a minority owner, right? Magic Johnson just became a minority owner. And then there is a majority owner. And then there is a managing partner. What we have not done with the young fellas is tell them, okay, you want to use that silly ass word? I don't like the word partner either, but I need to connect with them. You want to use the silly ass word partner? You are the senior partner. Right. You are the managing partner. You
Trey,
make
I
all
agree
the
with you.
decisions.
Trey,
Hang on.
No, but I mean, you
Hang
gonna be
on.
you got the
Hang
point.
on, because I had to sit there and listen to this crazy ass diatribe from 1955.
But I mean,
And the problem with this
on
is that nobody's listening to you guys because you're not connecting with the younger guys. They're going to use the verbiage that they're going to use. We have to find a way to take their verbiage and work with them based on what they're saying. And if they're saying, oh, this is my partner, we need to just pull them to the side and say, hey, just remember, you're the managing partner, okay? Don't nothing happen in this law firm unless you say it happens. All right?
I agree with you.
That's all I'm saying. We have to find a way because unfortunately, I think I'm the youngest on the panel. Unfortunately, y'all time is gone. It's over. Most of y'all are married. It's done.
You can kiss my ass, Trey.
Hey, Trey, can I add this? Hey, Trey, I hear what you're saying. Hey, JT, I hear,
Trey, well
what's wrong with
said. I
saying
agree
that the
with
highest
you.
level of
Sure.
partnership is that you're my wife?
What we have to do is find a way to connect
Why can't you tell a woman that the highest form of partnership is that you're my wife? I'm asking you a question, Trey. What's the saying? This level.
Ever say another motherfucking word to me?
I should say there's levels to partnership. How about the highest level of partnership is that I call you my wife? How about that? How about we saying the high? What's wrong with that? Right? I mean, we ain't just if we just use the general, if we just use partnership, we don't know what the levels are. There's no distinction there. That's all they say.
So that's what guys like me are paying.
If the honey's going to be your partner,
that's what guys like me are for, to help you out.
I know you're helping me out.
You guys are talking about. You guys want to do the bridges all the time. You want to get rid of the word partnership. I'm trying to find a way for you to connect your generation to the generation that came behind me, so that we can all be on the same. I mean, they came out, so we can all be on the same page here. The problem is there's a huge disconnect from what Black man's saying to what you're saying and to what the 20-year-olds and 18-year-olds are hearing. We can't connect. So that's why you keep seeing 19-year-old boys getting 25.
Oh, Trey, can I agree with you? You ain't let nobody even agree with you.
No, hang on, okay? You backpedaling because when you first started,
I'm not. Yes, the highest level of partnership is you my goddamn wife.
You have a problem with the word partnership. You don't like the word partnership. And
no,
now
I
that I'm
don't.
explaining it to you, now all of a sudden it's not that bad anymore.
My wife is not my goddamn partner. She's
yes,
my wife.
She is.
She's defined
She's
everywhere.
a junior partner. She is a partner. She's there. Because guess what? If something happens to you, she gets elevated to senior partner. She gets elevated. You're gone.
So Trey,
and just before you go on, that's the other point I was making about marriage also. I mean, this whole 50-50 narrative, I think we got to end that also. Marriage has never been 50-50.
Never.
But never.
Never.
What I said.
Never. I agree.
So now I hear your point, Trey. I do.
But that was what I was saying when I was addressing what Mr. Bennett was asking. Remember what I said? I said it's denotation and connotation when it comes down to these things. I have no problem with the word partner, but the way it's been taken has been this 50-50 thing. That was what I was saying.
So JT, let's teach the young men to counteract that. When a woman comes at him and says, oh, we're partners, his immediate reaction should be, baby, we can be partners all day as long as you understand I'm the managing partner and I'm the senior partner, baby. As long as you get that, we can be partners all day. But I have decisions for this firm.
Mr. Bennett, if I may.
Right. Sometimes you got to tell a woman and formulate it in a way that think that they're winning. Hey, because sometimes you, like they said, pick the battles that you choose. Sometimes you don't want to win the war. I think she can think she's whatever. She's a partner, but I'm still leading, and that's fine.
But I have to push back on that though, because I think if you got a real woman, she's gonna be under your tutelage, and you don't have to manipulate her to make her feel like she's something. She should already know what she is.
But okay, have you ever dealt with your wife in a way that you know that if you did something or whatever, like you act like she's just perfect all the time? You have not talked to her in a certain way and dealt with your wife. You telling me that?
Absolutely. I can get my wife right now.
That's all I'm saying. That's what makes 30-year marriages. That's what makes 40-year marriages.
Yeah.
You know what, Mr. Bennett?
I said it earlier. I said it earlier.
You next, baby. You next, baby. I want you to fire this thing up.
If the only thing you have to deal with is getting your feelings hurt, then what are we talking about? If would you leave a man because he hurt your fucking feelings? Versus this man is telling you something because it could be something.
Man, look,
Down to I don't want. I'm gonna make her feel a certain way. No, I want you to be a certain way. I don't want you to feel a certain way because I'm lying to you. That shit takes practice for a lot of men to get to that point because we keep placating to our women's feelings. It'd end up fucking the relationship up. I don't want her to feel a certain way. At some point in our relationship, she has to be that way. We end up dying. We end up getting sick. I want her to the point that if I'm not able to take care of her anymore, which most men are, heart attacks and all this crazy ass bullshit, that at least she can go ahead, close ranks and keep going.
Listen, this iron fist managing style that y'all have, it doesn't work on the younger generation. I'm just telling you. It may work for your wives. They come from a different time. They understand. Most of them had a father in the home, so they understand male authority, right? But when you are dealing with women, they are fatherless homes. They do not understand male authority. They don't get it. And if you think that you're going to go in there and you're just going to put the hammer down on her, it's not going to work. She's going to resent you, and she's going to find other ways to get out of it. Now, I'm not saying that you placate to her. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that you just have to be smarter than the average bear when you're dealing with these women. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be a little bit smarter than them. And if you can be smarter than them, yes, I've seen some of y'all wives. No disrespect, y'all are ugly. So y'all definitely manipulate your wives to get them to marry y'all.
Never say another motherfucking word to me.
Y'all
You know what?
Especially you, R-Pain. You definitely manipulated your wife.
Your flat Pillsbury biscuit pink pudding pop. Go get your flat ass Pillsbury dough biscuit pink Pop Tart and get your ass up off my live.
I'm just saying. A lot of y'all are punching above your weight right now because you manipulated your wife into marrying you. That's all I'm saying.
You know what?
Hey,
To answer Mr. Bennett's question,
Go ahead,
Mr. Bennett, here's the thing. When you ask a question, the author of the answer is what you're going to have to take into consideration too, because the world sees things through their own rose-colored glasses.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you said that people have a problem with the word partner is because it's the connotation or the context that it's coming from. From a younger generation where they look and they see that most marriages are ending in a divorce, when they hear partnership, they're thinking with divorce in mind. So what happens is in divorce, is that most of the time the woman takes half. So that's where the 50% connotation or what was unspoken goes into that. So earlier, JT said that marriage is not a business. I agree, but divorce certainly is. So when we start talking about a 50-50 situation, that's exactly where it comes from. And that's often what's lost in translation when we have these particular discussions. So I hope that answered your question. Whenever you want to answer, it depends on the author of the person who's giving you the answer, which will give you exactly what you're looking for.
But my difficulty sometimes is like, again, sometimes the conversation gets so much into the minutia of the words rather than the substance of what we're talking about. So I don't necessarily want us to, that's not just in this, but in other instances as well. We're going over semantics over stuff, but a lot of times we're saying the same thing. It's just that, but we're fighting over the word. I don't think that's useful to the conversation.
Now, I will tell you this, Mr. Bennett, when me and Ray had a live maybe about 2 weeks ago, we talked about inspiration and manipulation. Mm-hmm. Now, language is one of those things that fall in between both. You can use language to inspire, or you can use language to manipulate. Exactly. And we dove into that. If y'all missed that, that was a great conversation.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why intent matters. Purpose matters.
Words
destination matters. That's the reason why words matter. People can manipulate words and put them in any kind of order that they want to. It is the intent of those words behind it that matters, and that's probably the reason why the word partnership it creates such cringe in certain situations, especially when men, if they've been raked over the coals, when they hear partner, that's a dog whistle to she finna take half my stuff. But when women say partnership, they use it as if you know what, I have equal say so in this relationship. So what happens is when you use the same word interchangeably, depending upon who's going to say it, it's going to mean two different things. So that was a great question that you asked, Mr. Bennett, because those are those things that we should focus on and say, hey, when you say partnership, what is it that you mean? So I want to make sure that we're going down the right road.
I'm definitely big on framing,
fantastic
especially
question.
when it comes to certain
After
things.
Mr. Bennett, take heed.
Right.
After Mr. Bennett.
Well, all right. Well, I need to bounce into a couple minutes.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I'll just say my final thing now. Again, I know we kind of went all over the place with this topic, but I'm going to say something a little different just based on my experience and what I have, just learned in my life. I just think that the whole idea of this leadership model or having heads and whatnot, I think in this day and age, I just don't think it carries the same weight anymore. So I don't care if you're a man or a woman of the cloth. I need to be read up. I need to be studied. I need to study to show myself approved. So many male pastors I've disagreed with, female pastors and preachers that I've disagreed with. We're at an age now where I think we need to start encouraging people, learn the word for yourself. They got so much information, concordances, you can do all kinds of stuff, but you got people been in the church their whole lives and still can't tell you basic things in the Bible. They go to every Bible study and they don't know anything. So I think that whether or not who's leading you or not, I think ultimately you need to be the leader. If you don't like that a woman is teaching your Sunday school, then guess what? Why don't you study, show yourself approved, and ask? I've never seen the church say, hey, I like to teach Sunday school. Can I do it? Never turn a guy, especially if it's a man who wants to do it. And we're asking all these things of men, that, women should learn from their husbands. But have this whole platform. It's like, where are the husbands at? No one's getting married. So we're asking for these requirements when the very structure where that is supposed to take place isn't even there anymore. So where are these wives going to learn from their husbands when there's no husbands? So my encouragement to anybody, if there's confusion in this matter, again, study for yourself, ask questions. As was said earlier, find people who are walking a walk and spend some time with them. Get a variety of different perspectives, because again, not everybody's right on everything. There is no ultimate authority except God himself. And again, even as people can't necessarily get it all right. So I think that we need to encourage, each other to really, all of us needs to level up. And then if there's opportunity, if you complain about the state of the church, then you be the one. Again, the biggest problem that happened in the 90s is that a lot of black men left the church. Like one man came in, or one pastor couple came in and ran all the men out. And we want to talk about male leadership. If you want to be a leader, go back into the church in any capacity, be on the finance. If you don't like where the money's going, volunteer to be on the finance committee. Again, I've never seen a church where the guy said, no, so we don't need me in the church. They're begging them to come back into the church. So you be the leader that you need to be, and in the places that you can lead. But I just don't like it when we're complaining about the state. There's no men in the church, and we complain that women are running the church. You can't have both things at once. If you don't like things, do your own. Start your own Bible stuff. If you don't want to belong to a church, start your own, but do something rather than keep complaining about the state of things as far as where they're at. But I think all of us, we need, in general, I think people need to be a lot more biblically literate and really start walking and applying, and let you be the salt and light in the world. People want to come to you and they'll ask you, how you doing this thing? And I think that, that's for me the way forward. But, hierarchical leadership in any church, I think is a backward step in this age. You better start taking accountability for your life, because God's going to hold you accountable. He's not going to say, well, because my pastor was a woman, or my male pastor led me astray. No, he's going to hold you accountable. So you need to step up and do that. So that's all I want to say on that.
Right. And I agree with you. That was well said. I still go back to the reason that there was a big exodus of men in the church is simply because pastors bought into feminism. They bought into it, and they said,
honestly, respectfully, they didn't buy into feminism. They bought into capitalism, and they bought into consumerism. Right.
But
because all consumerism starts with women in capitalism. Again, women are the consumers. They're the buyers. They're the emotional core. They buy everything. That same consumerism got into the church also. So it's not
Agreed.
feminism. It's all capitalism. Again, follow the money. It was
Exactly.
that from Watergate.
Love
Follow
it.
the money. That is what's causing, all the times this rift. But again, for all these brothers, one man drove off dozens of men out of a church. I got a problem with that. A big problem with that. So again, I'm not letting men off the hook for that.
Yeah, and the thing with me, Mr. Bennett, I like to turn over the tables. I'm spiritual chaos, if you want to say that. Because let me tell you what, I'm not going to sit in the church and just let a pastor say it. I remember hearing a pastor say at a marriage retreat. I heard him say to a man. The man said, "Listen, man, me and my wife were having all the men were on break, so everybody was in a group." He said, "Me and my wife we're not having sex. I'm in a sexless marriage, man. What? I don't know what to do. My wife just, is always tired of we had our kids and the reason to have sex." And this pastor, this preacher looked at this man and said, "How many kids do y'all have?" He said, "2. No, we have 3 boys." He said, "Your wife went through all those pregnancies for you, went through all that pain for you. And all you can think about is having sex." I said, I couldn't believe it. And he said, "What is your youngest boy? What's your youngest boy?" He said, "My youngest boy is 13 years old." So you mean to tell me you got a 13-year-old boy, you don't want to have sex with your husband, and you as a man of God, you come on now, telling this man, "Oh, your wife went through changes in her body 13 years ago, so you have to be more understandable with the fact you're gonna be in a sexless marriage." I disagree with him, and me and him, and I'm a disruptor, bro. I don't care. And my wife be like, "Oh my God, that's my husband again." I don't care. You want to get loud, but what does the word say? The word said, "Do not deprive a man from his sexual nature. Do not deprive him. If you do, you will be tempted to go elsewhere." That's what the word says.
Which book and verse is that? I want to pin that on my wall.
It's in there. You got to read the whole thing.
1 Corinthians chapter
That's what
7.
Bishop Bennett was talking about. You got to read the whole thing.
I'm gonna make sure that's right in my vows. That's gonna be right in the vows.
Yeah. Don't deprive your husband unless you both agree. A wife does not have right a short period of time.
That's why you're fasting. While you're fasting and you agree.
That's
what it is.
A wife doesn't have a right to say, "Oh no, you ain't getting nothing tonight because I feel like you didn't say nothing to me like you did the other day." No, that pussy belongs to me. And this dick belongs to you. That's what the Bible says. When you get married, it says, "My body belongs to my wife, and my wife's body belongs to me." Ain't that what the word says, Mr. Bennett? Anybody correct me if I'm wrong?
That's what it says.
It's what it says. So if your body belongs to me and mine belongs to you, I ain't trying to hear when I rub that thigh and turn that pussy over to me. I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to hear that shit. Because then when I go fuck your cousin who was looking at me at the goddamn family reunion, you mad.
I won't.
Sir, that is not the proper response.
I'm just saying, but that's how it happens. The cousin come over to the house. The cousin come to the house to pick up some Reynolds Wrap foil, and she got some boy shorts on. Went to Reynolds Wrap.
He crazy. Somebody need to stop him.
Take heed. Come on, take heed.
Roll it over. It's his.
Listen, guys, I got to run.
Okay, Mr. Bennett.
I'll see you guys probably
Somebody tell me I'm lying, though.
You guys have a great night. Okay.
Where's the lie? Take heed. Tell me I'm lying. Take heed.
Hold on for a minute. Oh, damn.
Come on,
tell me I'm lying. I'm not lying. The pussy belongs to me. The dick belongs to you. Let's be real. We grown on here tonight. I'm not going to sit up here and be in no sexless fucking marriage. And these women at your job to my, "Hey, good morning," and you like, "Hey, good morning," and you full of nut. And that woman, she gonna help you relieve it. Women, relieve your husband of the pressure. If you don't relieve your husband of the pressure, his bomb gonna go off in another building.
Ooh. All right.
Checkmate. Techie. Let's go.
How do I come behind that though? How do I come behind that?
Take it home.
I just wanna chime in on something that Trey said earlier. So Trey, you said that we should be able to tell the women what type of partnership, right, that you have in the marriage, right? So I want to share something with y'all, and a lot of y'all probably know this already, but if you tell a woman that there's a partnership in the marriage, right, she gonna take it, she gonna run with that. If you don't explain to her the partnership, like Trey said, it's going to be an issue. But I'm going to share something with you. Partnership should never be used for marriage. Because when women find out that there's a partnership, right? She can talk to her husband or any kind of way. This is the same thing I talk on my channel. Like, you can love your husband all you want. You can love him as much as you want. But if respect is not first, the marriage will not hold. If respect is not first, the marriage will never hold. And I say that all the time because you can love your husband, you can be with him, you can spend time with him and all this, but the first time when something get out of line, you can disrespect him in front of everybody. But if you have that respect first, the respect comes along with love, you got it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work. So I have a problem how we delegate marriage, because if you don't put everything out on the table in the beginning of your marriage, everything will go haywire. Like if you in a marriage and when you met your husband, he wasn't working, right? Say if he wasn't working, but you were the one taking on everything, right? So now in that marriage, you the head HIT, you the head, you know what I'm saying? You the head ninja in charge. So this is what the wife thinks. So now when the husband start getting on his feet and he start working and taking care of, she's gonna have a problem to relinquish her power to him. This is why no man, and I kid you not, I don't care where you work at, I kid you not, never release your reign of power. Never release your reign, because once you release your reign to this woman, you ain't gonna never get it back. You ain't gonna never get it back. I don't care where you work at. You ain't gonna never get it back because she gonna run with it. So men, I don't care where you work at, just continue to work. Continue to work. No matter where you work at, continue to work. Because once a woman can get control of this, and this is why when these new age youngins get up here talking about partnership, that thing is not real. Because let me share something with you. If we in a partnership, when an intruder come in this house, who going first? Who going first, damn it? When the intruder come in the house, who going first? We partners, right? So who going first to get the intruder? It ain't gonna be me.
We partners in, and look, we're gonna have to draw straws. Goddamn
yes.
Shit.
Okay.
You guys are doing. You guys are doing it again. You're doing it again. I literally laid this out for you. Partnership does not. You guys, when you hear partnership, you immediately go to 50-50.
No,
immediately
run to 50-50. I just agree with you, Trey. I just agree with you.
Different
No,
roles and responsibilities.
I agreed with you. I'm not saying that I'm not. And anyway, I didn't cut you off, sir. I didn't agree. I agree with you. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying that you have to be mindful when you say this to the younger generation, because the women now, you got the boss chicks, the I am queen. I am going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm not going to let a man tell me what I'm not going to do. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't say this, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying the same thing you're saying. If you don't say this, it's going to fall apart. That's all I'm trying to say, because that's how we do. That's how we do. If you give us an inch, we're going to take a mile. This is how it goes. Anybody who understands women, this is how it goes. That's just my take on it. That's all.
Hey, can I just I just want to before y'all go.
Come on, Trey.
Michael Jordan played for Chicago. Was he the highest paid player on his team?
No,
he wasn't. Was he the leader on that team?
Yes.
Tom Brady, was he the highest paid player on his team?
Nope.
Not a good analogy.
No. Is it any question about who was the leader on that team?
Not a good analogy.
You didn't let me finish. It is a great analogy for the simple fact.
It's not. It's bad one.
How do you know? You haven't even heard the fucking analogy all the way.
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Come on.
Let's hear him out.
Our pain, I want to hear you rebut this. But go ahead.
That's bullshit he about to say. No, go ahead, bro.
Nah,
Come on,
fuck
Trey.
it. Go ahead. Nah, fuck it. Go ahead.
No, Trey, finish,
No.
man.
This is my issue with you old motherfuckers, and I mean this shit. You will not fucking listen to anybody that's not 70 fucking years old.
Trey,
Turn your fucking hearing aid up for 5 fucking seconds and listen to a motherfucker who's actually out here in the fucking streets, you old motherfuckers. I'm out here. You're not.
Trey.
No. This is the problem. You sit there in your chair, R-Pain. You sit there in your chair. You haven't been on a date in 4 fucking decades, but you got the nerve to tell me what the fuck is going on out here in the streets? You have lost your motherfucking mind. You've lost it. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, that's not true at all.
Please finish finish what you're saying, Trey. We need to get to it, man. I want to be able to see where we can push this.
My mic is muted, Trey. My mic is muted.
You can mute your motherfucking mic all you want. I want you to mute your fucking brain for once and shut the fuck up and listen to a motherfucker who's actually out here doing it. I'm the one that went on a date Saturday night with a 27-year-old, not your old motherfucking ass. You don't know what's going on out here. All you get is your fucking information from the fucking social media and the news. You don't know what's happening because you're not doing it.
Yes, I do.
I'm sick of y'all old motherfuckers because we can't go anywhere. We can't bridge the gap with anything because you won't fucking listen.
I'm listening to you and you're
fucking
wrong.
You talk too fucking much.
So do you.
Anyway.
I'm the one that has the fucking experience. I'm the one that's out here. The problem with a lot of you motherfuckers that are in these generations, you won't take a fucking seat and relax.
Say what you're gonna say.
You won't
Stop
fucking listen.
disparaging me. Say what you're gonna say.
You shouldn't have interrupted me.
You could take a little interruption. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. When we use the word partner in particular situations, or when we use the word husband, those things have two different connotations. If you go back to the root word of husbandry, it is the care, cultivation, and breeding of crops and animals. Also, the second one is making sure that you conserve resources and use those judiciously. That is the role of a husband. You're supposed to cultivate your wife. That's your job. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you use the word partner, is she supposed to cultivate you, or are you supposed to cultivate her? You know what I mean? She's not going to respect you if you don't know what you're talking about, if you don't know what you're doing. So that's the main reason why God gave us the gardening first. And once you can handle the garden, then you can cultivate your woman. And that's about it. We're going to wrap this thing up. JT, did you want to add anything before we start going round robin so everybody could go ahead and give their final thoughts?
Yeah, let me add something else to it. We talked about this last week, and one of the things that we talked about was men and competency. This is the biggest thing. We have to be competent as men. That's all. And this is the whole thing about this whole thing where we talking about partnership, or whether we talk about marriage or whatever it is that we're talking about. One of the things that men have to do is be in their own lane at a certain point until they get to a certain level of life. And what we are trying to do is be competent men. I will hear Reckless Ray talking about it. I will hear even Trey talking about it. I hear R-Pain talking about it. I hear
Hey Trey, get your ass back up here, brother. Get your ass back up here, man.
Get your ass back up here. But the thing is this, and this is where it can get very frustrating for men, because sometimes we don't have the perception of depth when it comes down to our own competency. We would think that, especially when we are out in this dating field, that women will leave us because we're not competent enough, and that may not even be it may not even be what it's kind of like. One of the things I've learned, not one of those old farts too, but one of the things I've learned in marriage and in relationships was that it wasn't based off of my competency. It was based off of me being in my own way or her being in her own way. Because what we were trying to find was this crazy ass thing that we were talking about, connotation and denotation of these crazy ass fucking words. The Western world fucked us all up. And basically, what we have to do is survive fatherhood and motherhood. I've never had to survive my childhood. A lot of people did, right? And I have sympathy for those folks. Never had a problem with it. I had two parents that were competent. My father was competent, my mother was competent when it came down to it, and they stayed together. But my fatherhood was what I had to survive. And that came from me questioning myself for my own competency, or was it her competency, and all these different things. So these conversations that we have, it really will help the next person, right? Because a lot of conversations, we didn't have YouTube when I was going through what I was going through, but I did have people to talk to. And what they did was they ushered me into the understanding of my own self. And I made sure that I understood what competency was when it came down to me as a man, right? That's very difficult for a lot of us to actually come to grips with, a lot of us men to come to grips with. This is why we have the arguments that we're having. This is why we're having it. Because now in the world, you know, you have men and women that if they tell you that you're not married, there's something wrong with you. And that's men and women telling you what's wrong with you, right? But then there's another side of it that's telling you ain't nothing wrong with you. It's the other motherfuckers. So we're just confused. To get us out of this confusion, we have to have these conversations, no matter how difficult these conversations are. It's going to usher us to another point of understanding, right? I think, in my opinion, and I'm going to end this, I think these conversations are being less pretentious and more into people actually getting understanding of themselves and of the world. Although it can be very complicated and you know, when it comes down to us with our emotions and things like that, I still think that these conversations are important and they're needed right now because this world is getting ready to be led by a bunch of not just idiots, but lost people.
You can say that. You can say that.
You
You know
know
what?
Translation. Let me
Go
say
ahead.
you said you was. Let me just say it real quick. And Trey, I wanted you to come back. The reason why I get pissed off when people tell me my 65 years on this fucking earth don't matter, I'm not taking that from nobody. That's bullshit. I got a frame of reference people don't have. Don't tell me I don't know what the fuck is going on. I've seen all the transitions. And lost it. I mean, take you to the message said it. People hear different. You use the word partnership, and a woman will take a mile. That's exact. Let me tell you, if I'm looking for a wife nowadays, and she can't get the word between how we parse the word partnership, she's not on my fucking list. She's not on my list. I'm not gonna. If I gotta explain to her all the variations of what partnership means, she's not gonna be my wife. I'm gonna find another woman who understands what I'm talking about. You know, so I didn't want Trey to leave. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying he could have a perspective, even as a young man, but he ain't married. I am. My wife ain't my goddamn partner. She's my wife in every sense of the word. So if we want to call that the pinnacle of partnership, great. But I don't call her partner at all. So all I'm just trying to say is that he's not 100% wrong, and I don't have to be 100% right. It's a matter of understanding that if you have to explain to a woman of these days what you mean by having a wife by variations of what partnership means, then she ain't the one. She is not the fucking one. Because a woman who's a wife will understand exactly what you mean. And even if she has had some coaching, she knows the essence of what you're saying. We ain't partners. My obligation is much more than yours ever will be in this whole marriage. Because I can't quit. You can quit a job, you can quit this, you can quit that. I can't do it. Every day, whether I feel like it or not, I got to get up and go ahead and make this shit happen. Nobody asked their woman to do that. I know guys when wives come home and say, hey, honey, I quit my goddamn job. I can't take it no more. And he has to make up the difference. So that's what I know. And so I understand where Trey's coming from, but it's not like I don't listen to him. But you can't just count my goddamn experience. I can't stand that shit. Anyway, I'll land it there.
Thank you, R-Pain. Take Heed, did you want to go ahead and add something to the conversation before you go? Because I know you got to get back to your king, and I don't want you to have to explain what's going on over here and why you stayed so long.
I already have to explain when I get upstairs.
We're sorry. We're sorry. Go ahead, darling.
Okay. R-Pain, I want to say something to you, sir. I value your opinion. I value Mr. Bennett's opinion as well. I value all y'all who are older than me. I value y'all opinion. Okay. And as you being men, I value your opinion only because I'm taught like that from my husband. I wasn't taught that from my mother and the women in my family, but I was taught that from my husband. So I do value the opinion of men, even when they're young. I listen to Ray too. Okay. Even when
because I'm right.
So yes, I do agree with some of the things Trey say and some of the things that other people on the panel say, but I will always stand on my principles and what I believe and what I have been taught and raised by my husband. Because I always tell people I've been raised by my husband. So the things that he has taught me is that somebody has to run the ship. We both can't be trying to steer the ship at the same time. And this is what the new generation believe, that they can steer the ship with the king. But if the ship hit the rock, who gets the blame? She gets to turn around and blame you. So that's why you have to make sure that ship steers correctly. Because if it steer wrong, even if she the one who swung it to the side, she still turns around and blame you. So that's why I tell even the men who follow my channel, I wish it was more women who follow my channel. But the brothers who follow my channel, I always tell them, if you want to listen. But you should not, I don't care what happened, never lose your kingship in your home. Never lose your kingship in your home. I don't care where you're working at. You could be working at McDonald's, Burger King. I don't care where you're working at, Home Depot, whatever. Never lose the kingship in your home, because once you lose the kingship in your home, she's running with it and you ain't going to be able to stop her. That's just my take on it. Thank you for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it once again for Talk That Talk Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Take Heed, for that. Just to go after what she said about the ship. When the ship goes down, who do they put on the life preserver first? Women and what? Children first. And the captain goes down with the ship. God says that men are to protect their wives, and they're commanded to die for their wives. So whenever somebody says partnership, are you willing to die for this? Most women, that you're not called to die for your husbands. Your husbands are required. They're called to die for the wife. And I think sometimes we lose sight of those things. And whenever we have these conversations, so thank you for using that analogy, Take Heed. I really do appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and go with.
Let her tell people where they can find her also.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them where they can find them, Take Heed, before you go.
You can find me on YouTube. My channel is called Take Heed to the Message. Okay. And that's it.
Thank you so much. I want to go with Trey this time. Trey first, because you've been awfully patient today, sir. I've been watching you soak up the conversation, and I know you got a lot to say, so I'm not going to hold you back anymore, because when you run these panels, man, and you see somebody being extremely patient, I want to make sure I give you your opportunity to say your piece. Thank you for being patient.
First of all, I appreciate that, and I just want to say again, I appreciate having this space to be able to learn from all ages, all genres, all perspectives. You know, it's funny. You know, I played several roles as a young man. I was a young man on his purpose, following the course of my actions, things I had to do. I was married young, you know what I'm saying, and I played the field, and that didn't work out. You know, I still knew I had to take care of my children, knew I had to, you know, work and things like that. Then I played the field for a long time, and it was like, I ain't had no problem. I was Tiger Woods before Tiger Woods, but then when that age of wisdom hit in, I knew I was a husband because I like to do stuff, fix stuff. You know, I'm that type of guy. Ain't nothing gonna break down around me. I'm gonna get it together, and I'm gonna do it on my time. I ain't gonna ask no questions. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna either with it or not, and you're gonna cook for me along the way. Just know that. So when my wife came, you know, it was just a blessing. You know, I read down my script. She signed off on it. And life has blessed me tenfold since then. And I spent a lot of years helping people, just trying to do the righteous thing. And I've always had respect for manhood, and I always had respect for womanhood. Coming from a mother, caring mother, you know, I had 5 sisters. My daddy was the craziest dude I know, so I ain't listened to no dudes outside of him. That was just me. But now, you know what I'm saying, coming into these spaces, this is my message to the youngsters. I ain't talking about somebody who done had their heart broke, because a lot of us speak from that. But if you're a young man, now is your greatest time in your life to take control of your life. You hear the conversations about what has not worked. I'm gonna give you just a few little things. One, you have to take that opportunity, especially when you turn 21. Everything counts when you turn 21. Everything counts. Get away from what's comfortable to you. Learn some skills. Learn at least 5 things. I don't care if it's learning how to tie your shoe, put a belt through the loop, tie your tie, iron your clothes, take a valve, pick the hairs out your nose. Learn some things to do. And you will see, and treat people right and work hard. You know, either you're going to work a job or you're going to create something new to help everybody. That's the only way you're going to go. Stop worrying about what other people say, what other friends don't want to do. Go live your life to the best of your ability. Go see the world. Go get you 2 passports, travel, come back. Everybody's loyal to America. We ain't leaving. Women, young women, don't have no children out of wedlock. Go talk to your daddy. Go find him. See what he's about. Because mama done lied to you. Y'all see mama lied to you because she's still fighting you to stay away and not establish relationships. Women, if you have boys, when he turned 12 and his kahunas drop, take him to the daddy or find somebody righteous who ain't trying to just get in your DMs. Find somebody that can help him out because he need help, because we saw the video, what that's going to be like. That's a bomb waiting to happen. And it's 3 things that you have to understand that a father brings. And you know, it's levels of father. You got single daddies, good fathers, and you have married fathers. But women, you have to understand that a man brings this to you. He brings 3 C's. Competence. He's going to bring the competence because he's going to allow the boy to work through certain emotions, certain problems that come up as they are age appropriate. If you let your kid just watch video, watch porn, and hang out and smoke and drink as a parent, then you fail it. But he also brings courage. He's gonna challenge his son or daughter to go beyond what they see, to challenge them to be smarter, whatever it is in school or learning new skill, flipping, whatever it is, swimming, all of that. And also he's gonna bring confidence, the confidence needed to excel over life itself. Life itself is a journey. Stop quitting on the journey. Some of y'all got these big old flat feet, y'all not moving. Move around. Stop listening to people talk you out of your dreams and you ain't even got started. Don't do that. Focus on you right now. This is the greatest time in your life. Y'all see this gray? I'm proud of that because I done lived it. I done seen that little city rolling back here in Dallas, walk through it. There's so many beautiful people out here waiting on you for connecting. Stop talking. Go do it. Because the world is changing. It's becoming more global, whether you believe it or not. Everybody ain't on YouTube. Those Iranians are coming. The south of the border, they coming. The Israelis coming, or whoever they over. They all coming to your new apartment building that you see and build up the street because they know you won't even take the opportunity right now to focus on self. Do what you have to do as an individual. Learn all this free stuff, finance, whatever. Learn it. Don't buy all this knockoff stuff. Women, please, all my sisters, I love all y'all big fat nose because y'all look like your daddy anyway. Go back to being organic. Y'all was 100% on the money when y'all was organic. When y'all fell into BAPS, when Holly Berry let y'all come out here and say, y'all been wearing that same uniform for 40 years. Give it up. Give it up because it's messing with your brain. Give it up. It's messing with your weight. Give it up. Y'all spend $3,000 on y'all body. Put that in your kids' college fund because you got a smart little girl, little boy. Stop trying to look cute with your fingernails and hanging over your shoe. Be blessed.
Appreciate it, Trey. Trey, tell the people how they can find you, sir. I don't want you to leave. I want somebody else to get some more of this.
Listen, I'm trying to debate, man, but look, you can find me at I'm trying to debate on what I'm going to do, for real. I don't know, man. It's a new year coming up. You know, I'm trying to put this big head into space. But look, I'll say this. You can find me at your local Walmart, on my Peloton, something around the house. You know what I'm saying? You can find me getting the back. Well, my wife, she take care of all that. I'm just blessed to not be out on these streets. If you got opportunity, man, ain't nothing like being married, man. I'm telling you, especially as you get older. You find a wife. Make sure she's a wife, not your friend, a wife. It's different levels to this. And grow together. If you're not willing to grow, if she won't walk with you in the park, she ain't gonna walk with you nowhere. And don't hyphenate your name. That's my last thing. Do not hyphenate your name. It's all the way in or all the way out. Either way.
That's right, Trey. One band, one sound. That's right. We're going to slide on down here to Wife School Podcast. Go ahead, darling, and give us your final thoughts on how the people can reach you, darling.
I had a good time. It's been a long time. I loved everybody's perspective on things, and it just made me rethink some things and go back to the drawing board in regards to my boys, in regards to even getting stronger in the Bible and the Word, you know, developing my personal relationship, and being a person that is salt. So you're supposed to be salting everybody and being useful and being a representation of the kingdom. So I'm just thankful that I was here tonight. Take heed. You always inspire me. I love you so much. And everyone on the panel. You can find me at the Wife School Podcast. I'm here on YouTube and on IG, and I just learned so much tonight, and I'm definitely going to go back to the drawing board on some of the perspectives that I heard tonight from the men, which I respect. And I love you, Arpain. I know you had a little emotional spill, but it's okay, it's tough because, it's different because when you're already, taken off the market, and then you got to deal with what has or is transpiring in society, it's kind of hard to try to, get somebody to have some sense and listen and get on your page and all those things. And I see the opposition for the young women. It's just so much incentive for them to be bad, to be toxic, to be selfish. And that's hard for a man that's actually trying to transition to be at home, to be a man to, lead. So it can be a challenge for the younger men that are dating. So I can understand both perspectives. So, but I'm going to have to work harder on that. So, and for my brother Trey, so I got to pump up that Wife School. I got to get some more content out there to inspire these young women to really get it together and hone it in.
Thank you so much, Wife School. Go ahead and tell the people how they can find you, darling.
It's at the Wife School Podcast on YouTube, and the same on IG for the most part.
Thank you so much for joining
so
us.
let me tell people where they can find me too. And then real quick, it's on Marriage, Politics, and Sport. The funny thing I was going to say, I'm working on an actual video on We Are Not Partners. I'm looking for a wife. My goal is to see if you qualify or not. That's why this whole topic, just hit home. So I agree with you, Wife School Partners, Wife School Podcast. I even agree with Trey. The only part I disagree with is for anybody discounting the fact that I've been on this earth long enough doesn't mean anything. I'm saying the young guys, if you want a wife, there's certain places where you could compromise and certain places you shouldn't. They just disqualify themselves. And that's all I'm saying. Because those subtleties don't work in reality. They just don't. You're either going to be the leader, she's going to be your wife, or she's not. All the rest of it is just compromise. So I'll leave it there.
R-Pain, tell them how they can find you, man.
Yeah, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. That's my channel. You know,
And
I have
on Monday?
100 videos on that damn channel and 3 subscribers.
And you forgot about your Monday show, man. Come on now.
I have more than that, but you know, it's not like it's blowing up. But you know, so I just have some things. So I put out these videos where I have this stuff where I would usually write. So now it's easier for me to just say shit on this thing. So it works out better. That's where I came up with my theory of relativity connection for Monday. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff on there. You know, so I also have a sports show that I'm going to do tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You know, so I get some guys up there, we chop it up. That's it.
That's right. All right, R-Pain, I'm going to use that equation, man. E equals 2 cheeks squared. I'm going to see if it works.
Anyway,
let you know when
man,
I
I got to go pick it up. See, now I feel bad because I don't want Trey to be mad at me. I like my man. So,
Trey
I got
tough, man.
to
He'll be
next time
all right.
I see him, I say, hey, Trey, man, mea culpa, brother, man, mea culpa, man.
Yeah, we'll see Trey on the barbershop come Friday.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm
We'll
sure,
we'll work this thing out. You know how we do it.
Yeah.
And now to the reckless one. Reckless Ray. Go ahead, man, Ray, and give us your final thoughts, man, and tell the people how they can find you, sir.
Man, I'll tell you what. First and foremost, this is all R-Pain's fault. Being the oldest person in existence, he was there when the first die was cast. He was classmates with Jesus, and it's basically his fault that no one follows the rules because he was there when they were made. And now he's made Trey mad, and that's how ancient R-Pain is. You take a very, very seasoned man, like if you were to marinate meat and leave it in the back of the fridge, and then your house caught on fire, but the fridge survived. That's R-Pain, and it's a special skill set that he has to get under Trey's skin like this. Now, as far as what we talked about tonight, man, look, we got to get our what?
I was talking to Black Man.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
we gotta get our houses in order.
Right.
If you want to, I'm just gonna put it the way that it is. Universal rules are universal rules. Things run on oaths and codes. The further you get from the oaths and codes that work, the worse things will get until the civilization collapses. It's not the world that's having problems. It's the West that's having problems. It's us that's having problems. Because we're collecting all the losers from all the other places where they're removing the problems and sending them here. With that said, you got to get your house in order. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you're gonna aspire to ascribe to any religion, try to get to the source material and then just follow what it says, because those were the oaths and codes that the religion was founded on. I'm gonna drop it at that. I don't have a long soliloquy for this. Like this is some pretty basic shit.
Appreciate it, Ray. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
And you can find me over on Reckless at Reckless Ray Dinero. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube. Obviously, we got the Guns and Butter show. We got Future Financial Strategies, which is a weekly crypto portfolio updates, which is our crypto specific show. And yeah, Guns and Butter will be live on Thursday evening. Tap in with me.
Appreciate it, Ray. You know what? I want to thank everybody on the panel for coming out, because you could have been doing anything else, but you decided to spare a moment of your time and share your wisdom with us here in the chat. I want to also thank the chat for coming out. You know, without you guys, none of this would be possible. I want to thank you guys for coming out once again. Make sure that you guys hit the like button. If you're new and you like the conversations that we have, please hit the subscribe button. It means a lot. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative that you become the best version of yourself each and every day. Learn how to build up calluses for character. Learn how to build up calluses for wisdom. Learn how to build up calluses for love. Learn how to build up calluses for networks, and to make sure that we lean on each other, because we're always better together than we are apart. Even though sometimes we may not always see things all the way the same way, but I'm pretty sure we can learn something from each other because we have different experiences in different places and how we see things. My thing is this: we should leverage that to our advantage and our capability. There's nothing that we can't do, that we can't work together. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. Make sure you guys follow along. We have multiple shows going on this week. Also, we want to check out, I want you guys to come back and find us again next Tuesday. If you guys feel like it, you can catch me on Sundays on Lost in Translation Podcast, on Mondays on Lost in Translation Podcast with Humble Dad. You can also find me here on Talk That Talk Tuesday, and on Fridays with the Barbershop, where we meet with the fellas and we chop it up, man. Yeah, anything goes in the barbershop. We can talk about anything, about whatever. And I would love for you guys to stop by and see what the fellas are talking about. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Hold on, before you get rid of it, bro.
Go ahead.
Before we go, I gotta read this for Black Man what he was just saying.
That's why
I saw some love and connection between Lost in Translation and Wife School. Wait a minute. You know how Black Man said, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know Black Man always trying to make a love connection with somebody. That's what I had to say that. He told me to read that shit. I had to go ahead and read it for my man. And y'all need to sort that shit out. Black
You
Man,
know what?
y'all got to sort it out, man.
Let me tell you, so you need to mind your business. And we